Yeah. Wallahi, it ain't girls like you out here in the West. I know I've been away, but I'm coming back home. No need to stress, baby. All I know is to be Palestinian, is to always rep where you come from. Except when you're in line at the customs. Told her she can meet me up in London. She let me cause I came from Gaza with love. But I feel like it's supposed to die from Gaza with love. If I had to go away, we would never go back. From Gaza with love, baby. فلسطين أحسن ساي وبنت بلادي عجباني. فضلكم احكوا مش سامع. Continuez à parler, on vous entend pas. 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 Somebody tell Bella Hadid, let's change that to Abdul Hamid. Now I mean to come off too strong, but still أصل فلاحي, I'm planting the seeds. Yeah, I could get you what you need, but I hate it when the texts go green. Do you miss me or did you leave, baby? Came from Gaza with love, but I feel like it's supposed to die. From Gaza with love, if I had it their way, we would never go back. From Gaza with love, baby. فلسطين أحسن ساي وبنت بلادي عجباني. فضلكم احكوا مش سامع. Continuez à parler, on vous entend pas. 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 Continuez à parler, on vous entend pas.
Stamattina mi sono alzato, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Stamattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato l'invaso. Oh partigiano, portami via, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Partigiano, portami via, che mi sento di morire. E se io muoio da partigiano, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. E se muoio da partigiano, tu mi devi seppellire. E seppellire lassù in montagna, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Seppellire lassù in montagna, sotto l'ombra di un bel fior. Tutte le genti che passeranno, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. E le genti che passeranno ti diranno che bel fior. E questo è il fiore del partigiano, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Questo è il fiore del partigiano, morto per la libertà. Questo è il fiore del partigiano, morto per la libertà.
Oh look, we're back with the same old track, but a different cunt. It's Rishi Sunak. Rishi Sunak is a rat-faced cunt. He's a rat-faced cunt. He's a rat-faced cunt. Rishi Sunak is a rat-faced cunt. He's a rat-faced cunt. Yes, he's a rat-faced cunt. Rishi Sunak is a rat-faced cunt. He's a rat-faced cunt. He's a rat-faced cunt. Rishi Sunak is a rat-faced cunt. He's a rat-faced cunt. Yes, he's a rat-faced cunt. Rishi Sunak is a rat-faced cunt. He's a rat-faced cunt. He's a rat-faced cunt. Rishi Sunak is a rat-faced cunt. He's a rat-faced cunt. Yes, he's a rat-faced cunt. Rishi Sunak is a rat-faced cunt. He's a rat-faced cunt. He's a rat-faced cunt. Rishi Sunak is a rat-faced cunt. He's a rat-faced cunt. Yes, he's a rat-faced cunt.
That's right. Welcome in, everybody. How are you doing? It's Wednesday. It's me, your boy, Donkus Jonkus, and coming to bring you the good news. My beard's super messy today. You'll have to forgive me. It's because I've been to the shop and I didn't properly groom it. But I'm going to be going for a beard trim on Friday. So, you know, you're not going to have to look at this messy, massive thing for much longer. Don't worry about it. How are we all doing? We got some amazing people in the chat already, as per usual. We got B-Rat, we got Ori, we got, I don't know, Jojo. How are you all doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. What am I up to? What have I been doing? I've been training people today again. I'm still working on the Zad doc. It's all work and no play. The Donkus Jonkus at the minute, let me tell you. Whip round the gaff today. Did a bunch of cleaning, and I was really, really worried to do the cleaning because obviously I got a little boy now, and I got a little baby boy, furry baby boy, and I was thinking, you know what? That's gonna freak him out. He's already trying, yeah. He's already trying to get settled. He's already trying to, like, you know, find his place, find his feet in this new home. He's unsure of things. We've not really got everything that he needs, you know what I mean? And I thought, oh man, if I just turn the Hoover on, he's going to lose his mind. But he did all right. He did all right. And I managed to clean a bunch of stuff. I managed to do the hoovering. I managed to mop the floors and everything. And he was fine. We've been playing around on the couch for most of the afternoon. Well, I say most of the afternoon, for about 15 minutes. It's funny what time does in your mind, isn't it? It's like, wait, no, that wasn't that long at all. Coop, quite tired. How you doing? Welcome in. Zemi, how are you doing? Good to see you. Ori says, I'm doing good. Big sleepy bitch day. Yeah, down. I'm down for sleepy bitch day. Definitely. Yeah, nice one, Tom, innit? Yeah, he's doing good. He's learning. And I managed to sneak these out. I've got some dreamies here in a little bowl because I've been training him anyway. I've been training him not to go on the sides, on the kitchen countertops, right? And what you've got to do, according to like cat trainers and people online and stuff like that, is when he gets on the counter, obviously be like, right, come on, get down. And he's good. He recognizes this now. It means get down. But when he gets down, you have to give him a treat. So I've been giving him treats and stuff to encourage him to do certain things. So when he comes up here and sits next to me, I'm going to give him treats and pets, you know, so that everyone has a good chance of saying hi to Tom. Anyway, that's the Tom developments. It was the first night last night without his mum. So Lena, my partner, she went back home last night to stay at hers. And yeah, he was pretty good. He's so funny. He's got such a funny personality. I don't know if I spoke about this yesterday or like the day before, but like when Lena leaves, he's just like really affectionate with me. Like, it's just so funny. He's like on the couch, lying down with me, coming up to me, wanting pets, wanting to play and all that kind of stuff. I mean, obviously, because he's got no one else to do it with, but he acts like I'm, I don't know, scary or something when Lena's around. And I wonder if it's because he's jealous. He might be jealous that because I do give her a lot of attention. And they do see us as like big cats, don't they? When you live with a cat, they just see you as a cat. So I wonder if that's what it is. Positive reinforcement is great for training. We use it for our dogs. Yeah, you gotta stick with that positive reinforcement. Keep it up. You know, stay consistent. Cats like consistency, don't they? You know, so you gotta be consistent. You gotta make sure that they know, you know, what time is for what and what place is for what and stuff like that. He is feeling more confident though. He's definitely feeling more confident because normally when you have like a play with him, he goes into his crate. We've got his crate out just in case he like feels a bit scared and he wants to like go back in there and hide or whatever. But he's definitely feeling more and more confident now in the space, in the house, in the flat. Because I was playing with him before and he was just like on the couch, like just going like and all that. So he's definitely feeling safer here, which is really nice. He's definitely feeling more confident. Yeah, what else could I say that I've observed that makes me think he's feeling safe? Oh yeah, he was in the bath before. Like he's never been in the bath ever in the entire time that he's been here. Like, you know, jumped in the bath kind of thing. It was just so weird. Like I was doing the cleaning, you know, I was like mopping the floors and stuff. I was trying to do it as fast as possible to not like traumatize him. And I just like was putting stuff away and then boom, he's in the bath. And I'm like, fucking hell. He's definitely feeling more confident if he's jumping in the bath. So yeah, that's good news. So yeah, very exciting. Tom developments. Have I got anything else to tell you? No. No, not really. The acoustic gig is going to take a lot longer because I've got so much on at the moment. So, you know, we unlocked last month the acoustic gig stream where I'm going to stream and I'm going to do maybe a 45-minute, hour-long set of acoustic songs, covers that I'm going to do. And that is just taking some time because obviously I've got to learn the songs and I don't have that much time at the minute due to everything that's going on with the union and everything that's going on with the Zad documentary. So yeah, I've got to manage my time with that a bit better. So yeah, that might end up being in the middle of December at some point. So is going to happen. I've got everything for it. I've got the backdrop. I showed you that last week. You know, it is going to happen. Yeah. I know a cat that loves jumping in the bath, but he likes it because he enjoys pissing in it. Well, I definitely hope that Tom doesn't piss in the bath. I mean, if he pisses in the bath, there's worse places he could piss, really, isn't there? You know?
That's piss.
There's worse places he could piss. So, yeah. What have I got lined up for you on the streams today? Well, we're going to be watching Positive Leftist News because we've not watched that in a long time here on the stream. And I'm kind of all about Positive Leftist News. I'm kind of anti-doomer over here, in case you didn't know. And we normally watch Positive Leftist News every time it comes out, but we completely failed to do that last month. And I think the month before, well, that's because I wasn't really streaming too much. But yeah, this month we're back on it. We're doing it. We're making it happen. It's Positive Leftist News time. I'm very excited to bring it to you. Hey, non-binary, how's it going? Welcome in. That's quite a cute name. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah. So that's that. I don't really have much else. I'm very busy at the moment. I'm just doing all stuff all over the place. Uploaded trash last week's trash, this month's trash, to the VOD channel last night, so that's up there if anyone wants to go and check that out. It was a fun session. Oh my god, just reminding myself, I need to fucking tell people. I need to give people the game thing. Thank you for the follow. I need to give people the fucking list of games to choose a game from. Oh my goodness. I can't believe I forgot to do that. Right, so who was it that won? Who was it that won? Emmy won one, Spectra won one, Adam won one, Rohamild won one, and Picaro won one. Right, okay. Okay, so I know who's won. I just have to send him the link. I'll do that in a bit. Non-binary says, just have my flu shot and COVID shot, which I got for free because I'm autistic, so I guess I'm just topping up the autism. This is how it works, right? I'm being sarcastic and not an edgelord. Thank you for the caveat. Appreciate that. Caveat explanation? I don't know. Yeah, of course. Yeah. No, obviously not. Yeah. Free in Scotland, go get vaxxed, yeah. Well, it's free in the UK. I would argue, like, I know that they're not giving it to anyone who's, like, under 25 in England. Or, like, sorry, not under 25. What is it? Under 50 in England. But, honestly, gang, if you want a booster, just go on the website, go on the NHS website, and just say that you look after your nana. Do you know what I mean? Like, because if you go and see your nana and you spend any time with your nana or your granddad or whatever, you technically you need one, innit? Do you know what I mean? You don't want to get them sick and they're getting theirs as well. So it's double protection for everyone, innit? So it just makes sense to do that. I've done that both times because I do look after my grandma. So yeah, go and do it. Go and do it, basically. And that is free as well. So I seriously need one because the colds after COVID have been brutal. Yeah, I mean, like, it's probably not, like, a cold. It's probably COVID again. Like, genuinely, like, you know, I know so many people recently were saying, oh, I've got this, you know, I've got this cold that's going around, and it's like, no, you've got fucking COVID. What are you talking about? I've got this cold that's going around. No, dude, you've got fucking Rona. That's what's going on. I do that, but I'm not a necrophiliac. Who's talking about fucking dead people? What are you on about? Necromancer. Yeah, I was gonna say, what are you on about? I don't shag my nana. What are you trying to fucking say? Good God. Yeah, necromancer. Yeah. Hey Prince, how's it going? Good morning. Welcome in. How are you today? Yeah, we're gonna go straight in. We're going to go straight in because I got a meeting after the stream with someone from the union. So we're going to jump into positive leftist news. We're going to chat about the positive leftist news. We're going to enjoy it. It's going to be very fun. It's going to be very based. I don't know what the content warning will be. I don't think we need a content warning for positive leftist news, do we, really? You know. What union? I'm on the committee with Greater Manchester Tenants Union. So if you're in Scotland, the equivalent up there would be living rent. But I don't know because we're quite radical. We're like a horizontally, democratically organised union. So I don't know much about living rent. I didn't get much chance to speak to him when they came down to, talk to us in the summer. So I don't know exactly how their organisation is organised. So I don't know. But yeah, we basically do like similar stuff. Similar activism to living rent. Yeah. We own the building as a collective here. That rocks. That fucking rocks. Housing co-op. Yeah, I'm all about that. That's something that we're trying to work on. That's something we're trying to work on at the tenants union. And like, how do we get, people organised in order to be able to achieve things like that? Because housing co-ops can be so powerful. You know what I mean? Student housing co-op. Yeah, that's fucking based. I love that shit. Let's fucking go. I had a near miss when I got it. I nearly got into my nan's care home. Oh, fucking hell, Johnny. Yeah, that sucks. Everybody go follow Johnny, by the way. Johnny's the top streamer. Top lad. Good to hear about what happened yesterday, Johnny. You know? That fucking shit with the data company. I'm glad you got that sorted. I'm glad you got some compo for it as well. Anyway, listen, chat, we're going into the politics category. So, just bear in mind, we may come across some people with some of the worst opinions on the internet. So, with that in mind, let's crack on.
We apologize for interrupting your doom scrolling. Now, for some positive leftist news.
Matriarchetype?
Hello and welcome to Positive Leftist News. My name is Louise of the YouTube channel Matriarchetype, and I will be your host this month. Now, it's more important than ever to highlight the progressive and positive movements happening around the world. I'm sure I'm not alone when expressing how difficult this month has been. But comrades, you are not alone. In fact, I'm right here with you now. Together we can make positive, real change, and that starts by understanding what's happening around the world today.
Hell yeah.
Let's make a start, shall we? The Winnemem Wintu tribe in Northern California has successfully purchased 1,080 acres of ancestral land after nearly a decade of effort.
Let's fucking
The tribe
go.
used more than $2 million in private donations to fund the purchase, with additional funding dedicated to constructing an eco-village. The Winnemem Wintu tribe has also been working to reintroduce their sacred salmon, the winter run Chinook, to the McCloud River and to conserve their ancestral lands and sacred sites. Land rights provide the security and freedom to practice traditional livelihoods, manage the ecosystem, and build sustainable, affordable housing.
Buzzing.
While we don't believe Indigenous peoples should have to buy their land back
I
from
agree.
colonizers, whether through donations or not, this is a significant and welcomed win for the Winnemem and the salmon they care for.
Yeah.
Land back now.
Land back
The BC
now.
Supreme Court has ruled that First Nations in British Columbia must be consulted before any mineral claims are made in their territories.
Yeah.
The decision transforms the province's mineral rights regime, which operated according to the Gitxaala Nation and Ihataset First Nation, based on colonial holdover regime, where basically anyone could stake a claim in First Nations territory without a duty to consult or even notify them, with devastating impacts to their land
it's
and
fucked
cultural
up, that shit.
and
I'm glad
spiritual
it's done.
sites.
Glad it's done with.
The court has given the province 18 months to consult with First Nations to change the current process. Although the court did not quash any of the existing mineral claims, the decision signals a significant shift in how mineral rights are addressed and acknowledges systematic issues in the allocation process. Despite its shortcomings, Hereditary Chief Githala Smoiget Nishiwa said, "The status quo has profoundly shifted. The landscape has totally changed as a result of this decision."
Let's fucking go.
Global movement supports Palestine.
Here we go!
Of thousands of people around the world mobilised to show their support for Palestine this month as Israel's genocide against Palestinians continue to escalate. Protests took place in many countries, with tens of thousands marching in Jordan, US, Iraq, Iran and Yemen to express solidarity with Palestine. Palestinians also organised their own demonstrations. Gazans, forced to evacuate by the Israeli government, defied orders and took to the streets.
Hell yeah.
In New York City, thousands gathered to protest Israeli forces' actions in Gaza, despite some local officials denouncing the rally. In the UK, participation in the largest pro-Palestine rally to date was estimated at 200,000.
That's police numbers, actually. Positive leftist news. It's more like 500,000 for that particular one that you're talking about. And if we go even further, the most recent one in London was almost 1 million people. But obviously, they wouldn't have known about that because that one happened after the 500,000 one.
Demonstrating their understanding of the US complicity in these war crimes, protesters emphasised that the root cause of violence against Palestinians is Israelis' connections to US imperialism.
Yeah,
They
that's
demanded
right.
an end to the blockade, humanitarian aid access, and cessation of US aid to Israel. Peoples around the world condemn Israel for the engaging in ethnic cleansing and war crimes in Gaza, and these actions show no signs of slowing down. On the contrary, they're just getting started.
That's right. National March this Saturday in London, yep.
Mobilise in Rome. Tens of thousands of people gathered in Rome on October the 7th for a protest organised by the Italian General Confederation of Labour.
Let's go.
CGIL. The demonstration aimed to oppose the austerity measures and policies that the far-right Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni's government is pushing.
You know... What a fucking pause. Oh, yeah, we love to see it. I was just pausing to say, it's great to see so many people organizing and demonstrating power and consolidating worker power. Well, not necessarily consolidating, but showing solidarity and demonstrating worker power against such a fascist government as Giorgia Meloni's. When Giorgia Meloni was elected, I think a lot of people were super upset because it is distressing and it's like, oh fuck, here we go, more Europe descending into far right nonsense, and you can really easily get doomed out by that. But I think it's important to remember that these far right politicians getting elected is a result of neoliberal and far right people colluding to destroy democracy. There's never any real democracy in any country in Europe. Still, as far as I know, back in the day they would seize power and make it very obvious, but now they just have to participate in elections, and they'll win because left-wing parties or so-called left-wing parties become neoliberal, and then don't offer a viable alternative, and the lack of votes for the former means that the latter, the fascist party, gets in by default. So it's not that loads of people in Europe are fascists. Yeah, sure. Loads of people in Europe definitely benefit from white supremacism and the white Western hegemony all over the world. However, I think the broader populace, especially the UK, if you think about the UK, right, and we spoke about this on Red Planet the day after it happened, there were almost 1 million people out in support of Palestine. That's like a left-wing, anti-colonialist, anti-imperialist position. And the far right, the fascists in the UK, even after being mobilized by the Home Secretary who has the biggest platform in the UK, could only muster 2,000 people. And even then, they were extremely ineffective. They didn't really do anything. They kind of shat themselves, got a bit tired, fought the cops, and then went home. Do you know what I mean? So, you could take hope from that in general. Class consciousness is growing in Europe, 100%, and it's great to see. It's great to see such a big section on workers' rights in positive leftist news. So, we'll see what else we got.
More than 100 groups, including political parties, peace initiatives, and youth networks, supported the protest. The rally put forward a broad set of demands, including addressing issues like healthcare, education funding, job security, and press freedom. Peace activists condemned the government's prioritisation of military spending and security measures to deter migrants rather than promoting peace and strengthening public services.
Horrible
They
fascist
all
cunt,
called
fuck
for
off.
decent salaries, job security, particularly for young workers, and
Burning the
press
NATO flag, yeah, that shit's pretty fucking good.
Participants were determined to continue fighting for change and hinted at the possibility of a general strike to pressure the government into backing off from its social service and human rights cuts. The CGIL is considering the option of mass industrial action in consultation with other workers' organisations.
Let's go!
The final decision is still to be determined by consultations with other workers' organisations.
Need that shit to happen now.
Anti-fascist
Yesterday.
action in San Bernardino. On Saturday, September the 30th, anti-fascist artist and mutual aid organiser Eye Rolls and Bloodlust held an anti-fascist community event in Southern California at Creative Ground Studio in downtown San Bernardino, where local residents were encouraged to paint over banners made by the neo-fascist group the Proud Boys. The centrepiece of the event was a collection of freeway banners displaying hateful messages that had been hung by Proud Boys in the Inland Empire region. These banners, captured by a network of anti-fascist and queer activists, were placed in the studio's alley for the community to redecorate using colourful spray paint cans.
Let's fucking go.
The gallery also featured a timeline of fascist activity in the Inland Empire, a statement from the artist, and a patio with anti-fascist art, zines, radical books, and performances by local bands and DJs. A dedicated security team of anti-fascists and queer activists ensured the safety of attendees, deterring potential interference from local Proud Boys and others.
Let's fucking go.
Over 100 community members, including families, children, artists, trans and queer organisers, participated in repainting the Proud Boy banners with messages.
Why are the Proud Boys punching each other? So it is like a legit thing. I don't know if it was like put on there to kind of like say, look how silly this is, because if that's the case, as someone who's trained in martial arts and done a lot of strength and conditioning, unfortunately what they're doing is actually smart. They're training against like they're basically doing strength and conditioning training, trying to like withstand as many like blows as possible, because what they think is that like they're gonna get jumped by Antifa and they're gonna get like pounded on the floor and shit like that. So it's like, all right, yeah, you just get ready for this, and it's true. It does actually help you take a blow. It teaches you to learn how to take a punch. But I'm gonna be real. It didn't look like they were punching each other that hard. Definitely not as hard as they are gonna get punched. You know, if the right people get hold of them. So. You know, and also here's the thing: people tend to like go for the face, right? When martial artists do that like body conditioning of getting like pummeled and shit, like I've done that before. You basically stand with your arms up like that, and you go, and you tense your fucking your abs. and your trainer or a training partner will basically like dig you in the stomach essentially a few times, and it does work to help you condition. But the reason that you do that in martial arts is because in martial arts you're getting body shots quite a lot because they're effective in martial arts. They're effective for scoring. It's a sport, right? Generally speaking, if you're out on the street, you're gonna get chinned, and you can't condition this. You know what I mean? You can't do it. Hazing shit that they do? Oh, is it also part of that as well? It's just like a hazing thing? Their old induction, no idea if they changed it, was to recite like 10 breakfast cereals while getting punched. Insane. That doesn't make any sense. That shit is funny. That shit is actually funny. But I do think there's like an element of actual conditioning that goes on in there with it. Yeah, hazing thing. Communities of strength have weird rituals, right? Yeah, for sure.
Of love, resilience, and resistance. Attendees praised the event's cathartic atmosphere, the transformation of hateful banners into expressions of love and colour, the fact that since the event the Proud Boys violence has come to a halt, and the sense of community and healing that the event provided.
Let's go!
As one of the anonymous attendees put it, last night was such an amazing sight, especially after the last 2 years of being afraid to exist in public. Just getting to be in that space with family and kids and queers of all stripes, and not having to worry about being seen as some kind of threat was immensely healing.
Yeah,
This
for
beautiful
sure.
community action can serve as an inspiration to others.
Yeah, I think that really rocks.
Writers' strike win.
Let's
In a
go!
146-day battle, the Writers Guild of America has emerged victorious and is celebrating what they call an exceptional deal, with gains in every area they had hoped for.
Strikes, work,
This victory
strikes,
can be
work,
attributed
union,
to
strong.
A variety of factors, including effective organisation, a strong picket line, a Gallup poll in the US showing a remarkable 72% to 19% margin in their favour, support from the SAG-AFTRA in promotion by celebrities, and tactical errors made by studio executives.
Oh, yes.
But perhaps most importantly, a crucial catalyst for this triumph was the writers' unwavering refusal to allow AI to be exploited by their employers.
Damn right.
During the strike, opinions about the impact the AI threat had varied. Some believing it couldn't produce worthwhile scripts, others feared job displacement or its use as leverage to threaten or justify lowering writers' fees.
Yep.
However,
All
all
valid.
were in agreement that the power to decide how AI is to be used should not be left in the hands of studios alone.
Correct.
At a time when the threat of joblessness due to automation is at an all-time high, the strike has great symbolic significance, paving the way for similar struggles by workers in other fields facing the encroachment of AI and automation. US health workers strike and win.
Yeah.
Around
This one was pretty good.
75,000 Kaiser Permanente health workers in the United States won a 21% raise over 4 years after their historic 3-day unfair labour practices strike on October the 4th to the 6th. Healthcare workers also demanded safer staffing levels, especially...
Yeah, the Ron Perlman shit with the WGA strike. Yeah, that was
While
fucking
in an
dope.
official statement released, Kaiser Permanente appears to blame workers for the staffing shortage. Strikers argue that Kaiser Permanente should do more to retain workers by offering improved pay and benefits. Better working conditions and pay are especially imperative given the cost of living crisis.
Hell yeah.
This victory is transformative for the workers, offering substantial benefits to both employees and patients.
Oh, it's so
It
good.
introduces a minimum wage for healthcare workers at Kaiser Permanente, setting the minimum at $25 per hour in California and $23 per hour in other states where Kaiser operates, and includes restrictions on hiring subcontractors and using external agencies for temporary staffing. The contract also mandates investments in job training programs, referral bonuses, and workforce development efforts to ensure a sufficient supply of future employees. Kaiser is committed to filling vacant positions, addressing one of the main demands made by the union coalition. Currently, 11% of positions within Kaiser remain unfilled. The agreement focuses on accelerating the hiring process, particularly for hard-to-fill roles, and aims to create 25,000 new healthcare workers over the next 4 years. As Labour Secretary Julie Su put it in a press conference, this agreement demonstrates what is possible when workers have a voice and a seat at the table. Collective bargaining works. It may not always look pretty, but unions have, throughout our nation's history, built the middle class.
Yes!
Thousands protest Conservative Party in UK.
Haha, yeah!
Thousands of protesters gathered in Manchester on October the 1st during the
Hey Husker, how's it going?
Party conference. Organised by the People's Assembly Against Austerity, the demonstration brought together various activist groups, trade unions, climate action organisations, and anti-war and anti-racism campaigners. Demonstrators called for improved wages, lower bills, and the removal of the Conservative Party from power. They also demanded measures to address the housing crisis, scrap anti-union and anti-protest laws, tax the wealthy to fund social care and security, and nationalise key sectors like energy, water, mail and rail. Additionally, health workers, including junior doctors and consultants organised by the British Medical Association, embarked on a 3-day strike to demand higher pay.
Hell yeah.
Climate activists voiced concerns about climate pledges being reversed and the cancellation of a part of the HS2 high-speed railway project. Protesters also condemned the government's inhumane stance towards refugees and migrants and expressed support for WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. The UK government is preparing for general elections in 2024, making these protests significant in shaping the political landscape. Unison, Public and Commercial Services Union President Francis Heathcote warned that while it was important to push the Tories out of power, we also need to prepare unions and workers everywhere for a fight against the Labour Party.
Yep.
It is going to be a government of neoliberal reaction from day one, so the left has to prepare now. We don't want a change of government. We want an end to the attacks on our class.
Yep.
All power to the workers.
Yeah, and we were there. The tenants union was there, you know. I organised a very last-minute protest to basically show solidarity with people inside the party conference shelter who were trying to tell Michael Gove, look, this shit right here that we deal with, it's all your responsibility. You told us that Section 21 was going to be abolished. And we had like a healthy group of people from the student branch, from other branches of GMTU and other affiliated organisations telling them what's what. It was a good day. It was a good day. Hey Bree, how's it going? Welcome in.
Australian supermarket strike. Through the Retail and Fast Food Workers Union, RAFFWU, on 7th of October, Coles and Woolworths workers throughout Australia initiated industrial action by stopping working for 2 hours, marking the first national supermarket strikes in Australia's history.
Let's fucking go!
Workers in Brisbane, Melbourne, Adelaide, Perth, Sydney and Canberra were protesting against poverty wages,
Canberra,
unsafe workplaces with abuse, assaults, threats and harassment as daily realities. They are demanding living wages, safer workplaces and job security. Coles has threatened to not pay workers who uphold the union's bans on certain tasks, such as cleaning vomit and cleaning the manager's toilets. These strikes are part of a growing wave of union action among retail workers in Australia, challenging low wages and poor conditions in a sector with high union density rates. Despite Coles and Woolworths generating substantial profits, their employees remain among the lowest paid in the country. PLN will be watching this story as it develops. Auto workers continue strike. The American auto workers' strike has entered its second month, with around 9,000 Ford workers at the Kentucky truck plant joining the 25,300 United Auto Workers, UAW, members already on strike since October the 11th. Over 100,000 workers at Ford, General Motors and Stellantis walked out when the UAW leadership gave the signal. The Kentucky truck plant is Ford's most profitable facility, generating $25 billion in annual revenue. The decision to strike was made after Ford management presented the same offer as before, with no improvements. UAW President Shawn Fain has emphasised the unity of the working class and the need for fair treatment from corporations, stating, "We're not messing around. Why is it when they kill thousands of jobs, it's business as usual? But when working class people stand up and ask for more, it's a crisis?"
Right.
The working class in this country is fed up with being bullied by rich corporations and the wealthy. The working class in this country is sticking together.
So based, like, you know, this stuff happening in the USA is fucking incredible. I still think that, like, despite the win, despite the deal that was achieved, you know, that not everybody was happy with. I know that in the Red Planet YouTube video that we reported on the deal that they got, there was a UAW union member in the comments saying that the deal was bad. And we all thought that when we were doing the news story, you know, we all thought that, like, yeah, it's not looking good, this. You know, we should hopefully be able to, like, get people to, you know, get a better deal. But, you know, it's one of those. I still think that despite that, Shawn Fain going on TV and meeting with the president and having, like, a T-shirt on that says "Eat the Rich," you know, raising the profile of all this stuff, even though Joe Biden was just doing it for PR or whatever. Like, the working class people aren't of the USA aren't going to have been looking at Joe Biden and gone, "Oh yeah, look at this guy." They're going to be looking at the working people there and going, "Holy shit, I should join a union," right? And then as soon as you join a union, you're starting to build that class consciousness in one area, and then you're starting to build class consciousness in another. This is something that I talk about with all people who I train on the member solidarity team with the tenants union, right? Like, you have to encourage new members and people who come to us for help to understand their place in the class system, right? They may not be working class, they may be middle class, right? These are some of the hardest people to get through to. In terms of, like, doing collective action and telling about the vision of the union and stuff like that. But if you can make them understand, right, that even though they're middle class and they're quite comfortable, they're still getting fucked over by their landlord, and that's because actually they're not in the same class as their landlord, right, as a tenant. Because you have the landlord class and you have the tenant class, right? The ruling class, the working class. The landlord class, the tenant class. Right? The white supremacist class, the racialized class. All these different power structures and how they correspond, and understanding your place within it and how you either benefit from it or don't, right? Class consciousness, social class consciousness, very important, very important. This stuff will happen as a result of people getting involved in more and more union action, left-wing action. Also, I don't know if I said hi to Mark Salmons. Hello. Did I miss you in the chat? Sorry if I missed you. Middle-earth Marxist, how are you doing? Just like the SAG-AFTRA one. Oi, looks like the leadership really bungled it at the end, but understandable. Why we need to do the best spin on the power of unions as possible. Yeah, for sure. Hey, Rat Acid. Yes, someone is stepping on you. Figure out who. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Yeah.
Well said. Don't forget, viewers, the boss needs you. You don't need them.
It's true.
The 2023 Eco-Socialism Conference will be taking place on December the 2nd in London and online.
Oh shit, no
way. The
way.
conference will discuss how to create an eco-socialist movement that is rooted in the trade unions, the communities, our schools, colleges and universities, in social movements and our workplaces. Organisers say that such a movement must tackle the big issues.
Yeah, that's right, Ori, yeah.
Socialising, private wealth, housing and land, ending the market economy, dismantling imperialism, fighting the abolition of borders, militarism, and policing, and for the social transformation of the economy from the ground up. Tickets are available online. If any trade unions or campaigning groups would like to sponsor or endorse the event, please get in touch with organisers.
I need to make a note of that. I need to take that to the committee meeting with the Tenants Union. What is that? Eco-socialism 2023. Wait, Australia? No. We need the UK one. There it is. Okay. Donnie Marco TV says, you're sounding pretty based, but have you tried accepting poverty as per the Tories' latest autumn statement? Yeah, I've tried it. I've tried it. Yeah. I mean, look, the thing is, yeah, is that when the Tories said that, when the Tories said, people just need to accept poverty, it's like they think that working class people don't already live as best as they can regardless, right? They think that, like, oh, you know, they're desperately after being rich and this, that, and the other, and no, you need to be okay with just being how you are. People just want fucking healthcare, man. People want healthcare. They want to be able to fucking afford to live. They want a decent, affordable home that's safe. You know, they don't want to be discriminated against. It's just all a smokescreen trying to say that there's people that are like, you know, after it's the same shit where it's like, oh, they're coming for your jobs, but they're trying to apply that to like the whole of the working class, not just like, you know, migrants. Just fucking mental. Yeah, that's just it. People want to have a good life, right? Hey Gobs, how's it going? Good to see you. Everybody go follow Goblin Hugger, they're amazing. Welcome in. Hey Vord, what's up? More than a few books I have read, including Dr. King's writing, talk about the middle class as a wall against change put in place by the upper classes. Yeah, it's just because, I mean, the thing is that there's more working class people than there are middle class people. And there are lots of middle class traitors because they're embarrassed to be middle class. And I know that because I went from being super working class when I was a kid, and then moving into like a middle class home when I was a teenager, and then moving out and not getting any support and becoming working class again, right? So I've been in that world with I guess a weird class consciousness that wasn't fully formed. And, you know, there are so many people who like pretend to be working class because they know how embarrassing it is to actually not have to worry about where your next rent payment's coming from or where your bills are getting paid in it. Do you know what I mean? It's so, you know, yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, Dr. King is right, you know, like that's neoliberalism, the creation of like a middle class so that people are super comfortable. They're not fighting for the rights of workers. They're not understanding that they're also workers in some regard. They're definitely not the ruling class. In some cases, they're not even petty bourgeoisie, right? They're just in management positions in different companies and stuff. And it's like, you're not, you know, in charge of this world, but they are like kept asleep by the lie of democracy, you know? Yeah, divide and conquer for real. Yeah. Yeah, anyway, I've got that link. I'm going to put that in the Tenants Union group chat.
If groups would like to sponsor or endorse the event, please get in touch with organisers. Mauritius decriminalises same-sex relations. The Supreme Court
let's go,
struck
Mauritius.
down a colonial-era law criminalising same-sex relations.
Yeah, that's right, Jojo.
Bucking a trend in other parts of Africa where a string of countries have passed or proposed anti-LGBT legislation. In a ruling on 2 cases brought by members of the LGBTQ community in the Indian Ocean island nation, the court said Section 250 of the Mauritius Criminal Code, which dated back to 1898 during British colonial rule, was unconstitutional. Jean Daniel Wong, the manager of the Arkansas Collective,
Hey, Porcelain, how's it going?
the largest LGBT advocacy group in Mauritius, said the group's next priorities were to achieve legal recognition for transgender people, legalise same-sex unions, and fight hate crimes based on sexuality.
Let's fucking go.
Universal Safe Abortion Day in Latin America. On International Safe Abortion Day, September the 28th, hundreds of thousands of women across Latin America, including Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Mexico and Peru, took to the streets to advocate for decriminalisation and legalisation of abortion. Many wore green scarves and campaigned for legal, safe and free abortion.
Buzzing.
Abortion laws in the region are strict, with only a few countries allowing elective abortion, while others permit it only in specific circumstances like rape or health risks. In some nations, abortion is entirely banned and criminalised. Women's rights organisations and feminist movements have long fought for access to reproductive rights, especially among marginalised groups such as poor women, Indigenous women, sex workers, and the LGBTQ+ community.
I'm doing good,
Collective
cheers,
efforts have
porcelain,
been paying
yeah.
off, with several Latin American states, including Mexico and Colombia, relaxing their abortion laws within the last year. Keep it up, comrades.
Yeah, let's go. Keep up the fight.
Quail found in South Australia, thought to be extinct in the state for 130 years. A spotted-tailed quail considered extinct in South Australia.
Look at that cheeky little
and
fella.
endangered nationally, with less than 5,000 left worldwide, has been discovered in Beachport, South Australia, after over 130 years.
Look at that cheeky little
The National
fella.
Parks and Wildlife Service will perform genetic testing on the animal to determine its origin. The species
My
had
God.
its last documented records in the 1880s.
It's like a cat rat.
in the Marlborough Forest and near Roe.
It's like a cat rat
Comrades,
fox dog.
If you have good news from the current month, please send your stories to mexi@protonmail.com.
Oh,
you to
cringe! Can we not, like, when we find out that like an animal has just been like saved from extinction, immediately try to like commodify it as a pet? Come on, man. Let's not do that.
For the positive news jams. Thank you to Cosmo for the positive.
Hey, Adam, what's up?
Thank you to Mexi, Catherine, Marshall, and Jacob for script writing and production. And thank you to Tristan for editing this video. And to me, Louise Croucher of Matriarchetype, for hosting this one. It's truly been an honour. If you'd like to support the show, please go to the patreon.com/positive leftist news, or you can give us a one-time tip via PayPal. The link is in the description.
Yeah, no problem. Not a case of commodifying it, but more securing its existence. Okay, elaborate on that. No one's wondering whether cats would survive. What are you talking about? What are you fucking talking about? Where is your logic there? Where is your fucking logic there? Okay, apply what you're saying, yeah, to, I don't know, tuna. Right? No one's wondering whether tuna can survive. But no one's making pets out of tuna. You don't save animals by making them pets. That's absurd. By trying to like what do you call it when you de-wild something? I don't even know. But whenever you we should be striving to let animals keep and recover their own habitats. Like, you don't gain any, domesticate. When you domesticate like an animal in order to like make it, possible to live with for humans, you're like systematically changing it as a species, right? Cats, what we've got like in our houses and stuff, they weren't always like that. They were like lynxes, wild cats, all that kind of stuff. And they've been changed, haven't they? My first thought was that it looked like a household pet. Wasn't immediately thinking of commodifying it. No, yeah, I get that. I know you're not like out here like trying to be like, oh my God, we should make all of these pets. But you have to think about like the broader consequences of things like the way we treat animals now, right? The way we treat animals now and how we have done historically has resulted in the situation that we're in now, where we have factory farming, commodification of pets, breeding, where like we breed dogs to the point where they can't breathe properly, or they have like stomach issues and they die because of these like, things that we bred into them, where we haven't really thought about that, but we were just talking about how they looked and how to make them cute. We are humans, innit? We are smart. We're knowledgeable, innit? Like, we're able to like look at things, analyze things, understand the materialism, develop logic and science and shit like this, yeah? And to use that power over animals is extremely fucked, right? From a basic point of view. You're using your power to control another living thing. It's fundamentally wrong. It's fundamentally bad to do that. Yeah? Animals should be free. Yeah? That's my point. Hey, Irish, loads of people popped out in the fucking lurk just then, so I'm just gonna say hi to everyone. But don't worry, you don't have to chat or whatever. Beanie Gaby, that dude Zoot, hello, welcome in. Irish Lily, hiya. Cats and dogs and other domesticated animals suffer from extreme brutality when it comes to breeding as well. Lifelong illnesses to make them look cute. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Adam's also out here. How you doing? Yeah, that was a pretty good positive leftist news. Pretty glad we watched that. Right, chat. What's next? Excuse me. Well, I'll tell you what's next. We are going to check out some stuff that's been suggested to me in the Discord. I think you've took my comment as a jumping off point rather than understanding what I meant by it. I'll clarify, they should be free, but given they were actively cuddling it like a pet, I don't think it's too big a leap to draw comparisons. Yeah, I mean, like you said, that'd make a cute pet, right? Like, that'd make a cute pet. So that's why I've, like, said what I've said, innit? Do you know what I mean? We just need to change our understanding of our position of power when it comes to animals. Do you know what I mean? Non-human people. It's important to do that, and that's kind of why I'm saying that, just to reiterate what my stance is regarding animal liberation, and, you know, just what I think is right. That's basically it. Yeah, no, it's all good. You know, obviously, I don't think you're a knobhead because of it. Like, not everyone is aware of animal liberation or the importance of animal liberation and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm not here saying like you're a terrible person. How dare you say that? But yeah, let's just, you know, try to remember our position in the hierarchy. It's important as anarchists in it. It's important as communists even though communism doesn't necessarily speak about the liberation of animals. I do believe that it's necessary in order to help us achieve communism. At the very least, socialism. Anyway, so I've got some suggestions of stuff to watch because the stream is just badly organized by me recently, and I want to check out what Crystal was recommending. Or do I want to do that? I'm not entirely sure. Because this is from ages ago. October. I think that this is good. It's a short one. It's Innuendo Studios. 2 minutes 33. Let's check it out. I think it's the new version. This was out 3 weeks ago. It's the new version of the alt-right playbook. That, not the new version, but like the latest edition. Also, don't forget, everyone, go follow Positive Leftist News on YouTube. Really important. Very, very good. They do great work. I'll get you a link in a hot minute. Content warning for this. I imagine there's going to be like a discussion of abusive behaviors. Because this talks about negging and love bombing. So if that's not your bag, if you don't want to hear that today, look after yourself. You know, a happy comrade is a helpful comrade. Etc., etc. And also, if you've not already, go follow Ian Danskin over at Innuendo Studios. Absolutely incredible stuff. Let's check it out.
Say, for the sake of argument, you've been having a knockdown drag-out online with a reactionary for weeks. It's been going long enough that you don't remember how it started or entirely what you're talking about. The argument seems to center around the nation of Israel, but you're fuzzy on what his position
TTK,
on
what's up?
Israel is. He seems to think of it as a religious ethno-state, which he likes and wants to use as the model for the US. But it's a Jewish ethno-state, and he has a lot of awful things to say about Jews. He also has a lot of awful things to say about you. He's been giving you every incivility you can imagine, and a few you've never heard of since this began. And it's not helped by the fact that, while you know your position on ethno-states and anti-Semitism, they're bad, you don't actually know a lot about the history, founding, or government of Israel, so he often catches you out by info-dumping and then mocking your ignorance. And he's just so rude and conceited, and you're absolutely desperate to show the guy up, trying to bulk up on history every day before logging on, but then something unexpected happens. All of a sudden, he stops insulting you. He's still saying awful things about everything you've ever claimed to believe, but now it's directed at a them. Liberals, commies, SJWs, what have you. But he's not calling you any of those things. He's treating you like you're smarter than all those limp-wristed leftoids. Smart like him. Better than them. It's like he sees potential in you, and after weeks of trying to one-up this guy, suddenly having his respect is kinda cool. This is a recruitment technique.
Right.
This is the outer edge of the onion. It centers around treating a person badly so they fixate their attention on you, seek some kind of recognition, and maybe have their confidence undermined, and then turning around and treating them very well.
Now, I'm not going to go too much into this, and I'm going to try and talk about this as neutrally as possible, but a certain number of communities that I have upset in the past also do this. Leftist communities. And, you know, this is why I will always say to everybody, don't bother getting into an argument online, right? It's so important. If you're going to argue about what pizza topping you like, yeah, no problem, right? No problem. Crack on, do it. It's fun. It's whatever. It doesn't hurt anybody. But if you are getting into a discussion about politics and you can see that someone is like straight up just making apologies for fascism, making apologies for reactionary conservatism, and they're not listening to you, they're actually not engaging with the question, block them and move on. You're not gonna change that person's mind, especially over the internet, right? Yes, absolutely. Your time is more valuable spent helping comrades, reading, enjoying your life as best as you can to the best of your ability. Yeah? Yeah, people, they use abuse tactics to manipulate you, and this is like, you know, it says a lot about specific communities, but also, it's just bad. It's just real bad vibes. And it's not healthy. It's not healthy for anyone. Ran into a pro-Biden, lesser of two evils apologist on Blue Sky this morning. This was the last thing I sent to them. I don't need to get that personal with you. I've taken a look at your posts and replies, and frankly, it seems that you would be a waste of my time. You seem very annoying. Yeah, that's it. That's it, and just ignore him, innit? You know what I mean? Block and move on is self-care. Why argue with weirdos online when you could knit a pair of socks? Exactly. You could be petting your cat. You could be out helping a member with their material conditions of a union that you're in. And here's the thing, yeah. You can do much more to radicalize someone and make them understand that like the correct way to think is the correct way to think if you help them with their material conditions, right? And you can only really do that in person. Yeah, there's some amount of that you could do over the internet, but it would probably involve like a Zoom call, some Discord calls, whatever, in order to like do some fact finding and understand what's going on and all that kind of stuff. But 90% of the time, you have to actually, like, help someone with their material conditions in order to make them understand that their ideology does not serve them in that regard, right? Hope Not Hate, which is a anti-fascist organization in the UK. They're very liberal about what they do. So they don't address people's material conditions, right? They just spend time and time and time and time and time, and it takes so much time for them to get through to these like far-right extremists who are like in Telegram channels, and they're like, you know, they like plant seeds of doubt and you know, discord and stuff like that, and it's all very surreptitious, but it takes ages. It takes fucking ages, right? I argue that an organization like Hope Not Hate would have much faster success rates if it started to help these fascists understand that Tommy Robinson doesn't give a fuck about their material conditions. That's why he's trying to get them to give him fucking £50 a month. You know what I mean? Giving Tommy Robinson £50 a month for what? Like, you know what I mean? What are you getting out of that? How many migrants have you stopped coming into the country? Not many. Oh, wow. It's almost like he doesn't give a fuck about that, really. It's almost like he's using you as a rube. You know? This is it. Feed a man a fish, teach a man to fish. You know. So, yeah, you know, getting into these debates, it's a waste of time. Not only are you legitimizing the debate when you enter into it, yeah, but you're also hurting yourself.
The nearest analog is actually pickup artist techniques like negging and love bombing. If anyone does this to you, understand. You are being groomed.
There you go. There it is, chap. Yeah, go follow Innuendo Studios. Hey, Googie Ham, how's it going? Light a man on fire, keep him warm for the rest of the night. Set a man on fire, keep him warm for the rest of his life. Jesus Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. I'm always drawn back to the classic Sartre quote about anti-Semites. They don't care about the meanings of words. Yes, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. They do not care about how ridiculous their argument sounds. Appealing to that kind of a criticism and understanding that criticism is not going to work on them. You know? That appeal to logic doesn't matter. You know? So that one was a suggestion from Crystal, and I really appreciate that. We got one from Prince here, which is a different content creator doing a takedown of a thing that I did a takedown of. This is Rebecca Watson. She's doing a Sabine Hossenfelder crit vid, which is super good. I can't wait to see what she says about this particular YouTuber. I can't stand Sabine Hossenfelder. I'm absolutely certain that Sabine Hossenfelder has done a Germany video as well, by the way. Let's take a look. Wait, did I say a video about Germany? I meant to say a video about Israel. Israel's basically Germany, let's face it. Let me just have a quick look here. Did she do an Israel video? I know she's done a video about trans people. Yeah, she's definitely turf city, turf vibes. She's done a video. I just want to show you this real quick. I've not got the scene ready or anything, but I just want to show you this video right here. She's like million subscribers. Depressed about your YouTube channel? Here's what worked for me. I know what the answer to this is. She sold out. She sold out, and she started to appeal to neoliberal reactionary people. Like, for example, you know, this video that is just before that video. Just here where she's talking about crypto and NFTs. Confused about crypto? Start here. Shut up, man. Stupid fucking prick. Just make money to say nice things. I don't know if I'm supposed to suggest a video, but Mildred just posted a new vid. No, I have a thing in the Discord, Adam, where people can suggest content for the stream. So yeah, I'm doing that. I'm actually doing that. So yeah, apologies.
A few weeks ago.
Whoa. Right. Now, interestingly enough, Rebecca appears to be talking about... Here's a link to Rebecca's channel, by the way. Rebecca's not always good, but she's pretty good in general. I don't think she's like a super commie or anything, but she's pretty good to watch. She's got some pretty good takes. She's like a scientist, or like used to do STEM, or still does STEM. I'm not quite sure. But, you know, she does videos about like why Elon Musk is cringe and all this kind of stuff. She's pretty good. But yeah, this is Prince's suggestion. Yeah, thanks for this, Prince. So this particular video appears to be talking about one thing that really got on my nerves about Sabine Hossenfelder's capitalism video, which is that she was talking about how capitalism made penicillin happen, right? And I lost my mind, and my thoughts were manifold and unorganized, but I knew that there was something incredibly wrong about that, and I don't think I expressed my actual thoughts about the thing as good as I could have done. So I'm hoping that Rebecca gives me a bit of clarification on what I was trying to say about that. So yeah, let's check out the video. Yeah, but that's a different story. Yeah, she loves to say, when she gets something wrong, she loves to say, but that's a different story. When it's not. When it's not a different story. It's like, no, that is actually the story. So, more Sabine nonsense. I can't remember if there was any, like, content warnings to worry about with Sabine's content. It's just, like, capitalism apologia. You know what I mean? Cringe. Wasn't it also the one with the capitalist creation myth of a barter evolution into money? Yes. That's right. Yeah. Or was it just a case of penicillin getting made and released in spite of capitalism? Yeah, exactly. Capitalism is holding things back. Painfully bad takes, yeah. No, I'm coming up to that, Johnny. I'm coming up to that, mate. Yeah. Okay. Some say billionaires cause climate change, but Bill Gates tells me that's a different story. Right, exactly. All right. Let's check it out, chat.
So several of you let me know that there had once again been a great disturbance in the science communication force, as though millions of voices suddenly cried out, "What the hell are you talking about? Please stop talking." Once again, the person responsible is the popular physicist YouTuber Sabine Hossenfelder. I covered Hossenfelder once before, back in May, when she made a really flawed video about transgender care. I was a subscriber of hers at the time. I found her generally educational about physics and pretty entertaining. And so at the time I was...
This is the thing. We were saying this when we were watching the video, innit? Like, she's a physicist. She needs to, like, shut up about things that aren't related to physics. You want to talk about politics? It's not really your area, is it? Do you know what I mean? Look, I'm not saying that physicists can't have an understanding of politics, right? But it just seems to me that it's not really her area of expertise. You know, if you're doing like a bunch of videos about physics, and then you know, you decide to do one about politics just because you think you know what's going on, maybe not. A huge number of academics have solid steel social blingers. It's really weird. It's not weird. It's a product of neoliberalism and capitalism, isn't it? Right? Because if you think about it, If you go to the place that capital and the system says that is the best place to go and learn the thing, and you do the thing that capitalism says you need to do to be considered the smartest person about the thing, yeah, then you are going to have a mindset that you are indeed the smartest person, right? And in fact, that because you've done all that, and because society tells us that if you go to university and you're getting massive amounts of debt and you're able to pay it off because, you're somehow privileged enough to do that or whatever, and it doesn't ruin your fucking life afterwards, and, and you actually achieve these qualifications, that somehow you're more smarter than the average person, even though some of the poorest, most marginalized people in the fucking world have a better material understanding of some of the most academically qualified people in the world, right? That is why people think like that. You know what I mean? That is why people think like that. Universal intelligence myth. Exactly. Yes. That's exactly what it is. This is why hierarchies got to go. This is why academic hierarchies have got to go. It just needs to change. Like, all of that shit needs to be changed. I'm hesitant to use the word, but more often when I use the word, I'm like, yeah, it actually makes sense, but maybe it should be abolished. I don't know. Maybe we should be teaching people, and that's it. No more fucking qualifications. Like, we do, unless it's for like very, very, very serious, important things like healthcare. I don't know. This is like a not joined up thought. It's probably problematic in many ways, but just need to not have that like hierarchy of like, well, actually, no. Do you know what? You can have qualifications because you just need to have free education for all, innit? That's what it is. Free education for all. And then you won't have to worry about the hierarchies. You can spend your life in education, with all that free time that you'll get from having less time to, making sure that, with unions making sure that people don't have to work more than they do. STEM graduates, even students, as far as I've seen, seem to have deep-fried brains that are baked to their perception of intelligence. Yeah, that's true. Self-perception. Oxford, Cambridge, economics, lots of learning, lots of conditioning, and then lots of repetition, despite that being one of the things perpetuating poverty in the country. Yes, correct. Hey, Muel, how's it going? Anyway, let's crack on. Yeah, let's crack on.
To see her produce a video that was so poorly researched. Since I put out that video, I've learned enough about her that I'm not surprised she's gone and done it again. Like, I had several physicist friends reach out and suggest that I find a different person to learn physics from. So this most recent video doesn't shock me. It's about capitalism and how it's actually good. Frequent watchers of this channel may already suspect that I'm not the biggest fan of capitalism. Have I benefited from it? Absolutely. Do I think that it has led to most, if not all, of society's greatest ills, including but not limited to income inequality and runaway climate change? Yes, I do think that. So I can see why many people thought, oh, Rebecca's going to go absolutely apeshit over Sabine's pro-capitalism video. Let's send it to her and pop some popcorn. But here's the thing. I watched her video and I did think that it was very poorly researched, but I just don't have the economics knowledge to properly deconstruct what seemed like dozens of mistakes and misrepresentations.
Okay, this is exactly what we're talking about, right? Like, love Rebecca, think she's great, but I think on this point, again, it's like, you don't need to be an economist in order to understand what was wrong with her shit. You just need to have material analysis, right? Material analysis. It's very easy, based on what people have and what people don't have. Yeah? Do you know what I mean? And like, have a look at, unsustainable growth, profit incentives, profit motives, shareholders, board members, etc., right? You don't need to be an economics nerd for that.
Presentations, but that's another story.
However, it would be good to see Yanis Varoufakis destroy Sabine Hossenfelder's video.
waving. I'm not an economist, obviously, but I also never took an economics class in college. I haven't read deeply on the subject. I'm just not educated enough to be able to explain these points to other people. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to give this one a skip. But last week, the YouTube algorithm blessed me with a little bit of gold in the form of a channel called Unlearning Economics. The creator is an academic economist from the UK, and I think he does a really great job of reacting to Hassenfelder's video in real time on a live stream.
No way.
I learned a lot watching it, so I very much recommend you go check it out if you would like to know what Hassenfelder got wrong or just skipped entirely. As always, links to everything I discuss are in the transcript, which I link below, available free to everyone on my Patreon. But there was one point in Unlearning Economics live stream in which he wasn't sure how to respond because the topic maybe wasn't really in his wheelhouse, and that was the history of penicillin. That's right, Ari. In her video, Hassenfelder argues that capitalism is the driver behind scientific progress.
That's so weird that another streamer from the UK tripped up on the penicillin bit. Not even necessarily tripped up. I don't know who this person is. I'm going to check him out, but like, you know, I was exactly the same. I was like, there's so much stuff wrong with this, but I don't quite have the knowledge to be like, this is fucked and wrong. You know what I mean?
And she tries to illustrate this point with the story of penicillin.
But he pretty much left it at naming the stuff. It wasn't until 10 years later that a group at the University of Oxford set out to find a way to grow the fungus and extract penicillin in large quantities. They then conducted medical trials, and once they were sure penicillin was both safe and effective, their method was scaled up by the pharmaceutical industry. Two members of the Oxford group later shared the Nobel Prize.
That was as soon as she said like pharmaceutical industry. I can't remember. If you want to see the fucking VOD, yeah, check out the VOD channel. It's like the second longer YouTube link in the socials command there. Yeah, you'll be able to see the thumbnail for the video is like just like an arrow pointing at Sabine, where it just says "so wrong." And it's pretty much the whole stream. We pretty much spent the whole stream watching that video being like, this motherfucker doesn't know what the fuck she's on about. But I'm fairly certain when she was talking about like the pharmaceutical industry scaled it up. I was like going, losing my fucking mind at that shit.
With Fleming. So what saved all those many lives wasn't just Fleming's observation in a petri dish.
No, it was though.
Was
I'm getting mad again.
Producing the stuff in large quantities and bringing it where it was needed. Innovation and industrialization ultimately.
It was the mass production. It was the means of production. The people who own the means of production. Again, like even if that's what you think, even if you think it was like the distribution and the mass production of it, the workers did that. The workers. Oh my God, it's winding me up again. I can't stand people just being so confidently wrong about this shit. Confidently wrong.
Going back to capitalism. That's what saved all those people.
And here's what Unlearning Economics had to say about that.
So, wait, I don't think this conclusion follows from her example, right? Because she says, look, scientific discovery is often uncertain, potted, you know, attributing it to one person, Fleming, whoever.
Right, Muel, that's what she's saying.
You've got to appreciate that there are usually teams of researchers and long lapses of time between different inventions. But what she said is that a team at the University of Oxford picked it up. Now, I don't understand what that has to do directly with capitalism, right? You might make an indirect argument about capitalism and how it enabled the University of Oxford to exist, even though it predates capitalism, actually. But but they're the ones that picked it up, right, and developed it. And then she says they developed it into a form where it could be taken and spread by the pharmaceutical industry. But I mean, I don't know.
Essentially,
hey, Starryfix, how you doing?
Understandably confused about what her point is and how it supports her thesis that capitalism is good. Now, this is more science history than economics, and I actually do feel like
That's
I
right,
maybe
Ori, yeah.
have the knowledge and the ability to explain what I think her point was supposed to be, and also why she's still completely wrong. Hassenfelder starts this part of her video by first downplaying Fleming's role in the discovery, development,
She
and
does
production
downplay
of
it, doesn't
penicillin,
she?
which is something that I definitely would have done as well in an essay for my 9th grade biology class when I was 13, and I thought it was super cool to like debunk the history we learned in 5th grade. There was a period of time when one could argue that Fleming took more of the spotlight than he deserved, just as you could argue the same for literally any famous scientific advancement of the past 100 years. Yes, of course, prior research had shown that fungi and bacteria kill each other. Hassenfelder starts in 1871 with John Scott Burton Sanderson, but ancient cultures around the world have used fungi to stop infections for thousands of years. The difference is that with time and effort, scientists were able to get more and more specific as to which fungi worked, and then
This is what I was talking about in terms of like, it's so absurd to even think that like healthcare is like a good thing that only exists because of capitalism. Like, it's so white in it. It's so white to think that, because it's like, well, actually, no. Colonizer mindset, right? Colonizer mindset, because you're trying to imply that when people got sick back in the day, everyone just gave up and went, oh, we don't have the technology. And it's like, no, people were coming up with like, what are these things like poultices and like, you know, basically like plant medicines and what have you that like were effective, and they knew like certain combinations of plants, and certain combinations of plants, if left for a long time, could you know, help people, etc., etc. You know, it's just completely absurd. I'm just watching suggestions from the community star fix. So yeah, basically, if anyone's wondering, if anyone's just getting here and wondering how to suggest things for the stream, I have ADHD, which unfortunately comes with, for a lot of people, something called ODD, which means that I don't like being told what to do, what to watch, or anything like that. So please don't ever say, Muel, you gotta watch this. Muel, I'm gonna recommend you this. Join the Discord. Drop the link in the content suggestion, a stream. Don't say a fucking word else, and I'll probably watch it on stream. There you go. Ancient Egyptians were literally performing surgery. Right, exactly, yeah. Mood, yeah, you the same, Porcelain, yeah. Industrialists can't innovate by definition. Yeah, that's right. People discover X, people make more of it based on need and roll it out. There's nothing unique there with capitalism. You could argue profit motive makes it a driving factor for mass production, but there's already a need for mass production. If anything, capitalism will be the profiteering from the need to mass produce. Exactly. This is the thing. Like, some people are so like, you know, they don't have class consciousness. This is what happens when you get the false consciousness of neoliberalism. You think that like, oh, well, you know, this thing exists and it must only exist because of capitalism, right? It must only exist because of capitalism. Capitalism is doing good things. It's helped me have a good life, you know? There's no, like, analysis of things at the very top of the ruling class where they are just completely profiting off the fact that, you know, certain people in the world can't afford this medicine. Certain people in the world just won't be able to afford to import as much of that medicine as other places in the world, and 90% of the time, that's the people who suffer the most from white supremacist colonial imperialism, which is the highest form of capitalism, right? So, lots of illnesses could be alleviated by anti-inflammatories. We've had a good handle on that for centuries, yeah. The accident of a history that germ theory could only have developed in societies capable of manufacturing microscope lenses, tangentially related to organization of production at most. I'm not sure I understand that. There's the accident of history that germ theory could have only developed as societies capable of manufacturing measurements. That's tangential to the organization. Oh, no. I know what you're saying. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Which illnesses it could and could not help with, and then what actual substance the fungi was producing to do the job, and so on and so forth. It's the exact same thing that we see over and over again.
Yes.
With most of...
Sorry, just to point this out, there are so many examples in anthropology of, like, you know, studying ancient peoples, of older individuals with broken and healed bones, right? People were able to, like, look after people even though they weren't able to contribute to the community and society at that time, which proves the, you know, human, what do they call it? Oh, that's just human nature. Human nature proves the human nature thing wrong, right?
Science history. Ancient cultures know that this, you know, something works somehow, and they incorporate it. And then over time, as the scientific method begins to be employed, we narrow down exactly what is happening, and everybody is happier for it. So yes, Hassenfelder is correct that Fleming discovered the substance penicillin, but she says that he left it at just naming it, which is not true. You know, he was not a chemist. So unlike Hassenfelder, he acknowledged his lack of education on the topic and he found someone in the correct department to try to get things right. Unfortunately, the chemists he hired were unable to isolate the chemical compound. So with nowhere else to go, Fleming published his paper in the hopes that someone would pick it up in the future. And luckily, that is exactly what happened. As Hassenfelder correctly states, 10 years later, a chemist at the University of Oxford, Ernst Chain, found Fleming's paper and used an interdisciplinary team of researchers to explore the idea of penicillin's antibacterial properties. And by the way, Fleming was all too excited about this and happy to help in whatever way he could. This team discovered that it was extremely effective at killing certain bacteria that infect and kill people. And so they quickly realized that they needed to find a way to produce this substance in large enough quantities to save millions of lives. I'll pause here to stress that Hassenfelder uses this story to argue that capitalism is why science took off.
Capitalism is a system that distributes these resources without anyone needing to have an overview, just by interactions between traders. It's pure genius if you think about it.
You know, it's so funny, right? Because this kind of implies that, like, in the Soviet Union, they just didn't do any science. There was no science done in the Soviet Union, no science done in revolutionary China. Cuba, famously not doing science. They're always not doing science. You know, they're definitely not one of the most, you know, what do you call it? Advanced countries when it comes to medicine. It's so dumb, so dumb. Literally no science in the Middle Ages. No science in the Middle Ages. Well, I think she was arguing that, like, capitalism existed in the Middle Ages, which is very funny. That's also, like, a very funny thing, because, you know, there was no industrialization. The Soviets pioneered bacteriophage therapy, if I remember correctly. That's interesting as fuck, because bacteriophage shit is super important. No science in ancient Greece, right? No science in ancient Greece. Well, I think she was trying to argue that, like, ancient Greece was capitalism somehow. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, all the capitalist Greeks, yeah, they were getting about doing capitalism, weren't they? You know.
And that's why science took off, not the other way around.
Thus far, in the way that both I and Hassenfelder have described it, capitalism has played no real part in the story. For instance, the University of Oxford predates capitalism. Ernst Chain and company were not working for a for-profit pharmaceutical company. But in actuality, the story is really the story
of Gold Greek, how's it going? Welcome in.
Capitalist society would have prevented the discovery of penicillin. You know, were it not for certain things, capitalism would have gotten in the way. For instance, Fleming was only working as a doctor because he had been working in a shipping office just to make ends meet. But then his uncle died and left him a bunch of money, and he was finally encouraged to go to medical school. Also, Ernst Chain, the main guy in charge at that Oxford lab, published a remembrance of his time at Oxford, and he wrote that penicillin could have practical use in clinical medicine did not enter our minds when we started our work on it. A substance of the degree of instability that penicillin seemed to possess, according to the published facts, does not hold out much promise for clinical application. If my working hypothesis had been correct and penicillin had been a protein, its practical use as a chemotherapeutic agent would have been out of the question because of anaphylactic phenomena that inevitably would have followed its repeated use. From the scientific point of view, however, the problem of purifying penicillin and isolating the substrate on which I thought it acted was of interest and hence well worth pursuing. He goes on to say, I started to work on penicillin in 1938, long before the outbreak of the war. The frequently repeated statement that the work was started as a contribution to the war effort to find a chemotherapeutic agent suitable for the treatment of infected war wounds has no basis. The only reason that motivated me was scientific interest. I very much doubt whether I would have been allowed to study this problem at that time in one of the so-called mission-oriented, practically minded industrial laboratories. The research on penicillin, which was started as a problem of purely scientific interest but had consequences of very great practical importance, is a good example of how difficult it is to demarcate sharp limits between pure and applied research. That's right, one of the guys who is most responsible for the production of penicillin during World War II directly contradicts Hossenfelder's statements, making it crystal clear that his team's hypothesis was that this substance had no practical medical use, and therefore no interest to a capitalist who might buy or sell it. They
the
were
receipts,
working
the
out
ancient
of pure
receipts.
Curiosity, pure scientific interest. If they were working for a pharmaceutical company, their research would have ended before it started because there simply is no reason for a company looking to turn a profit to spend time and money exploring ideas that are inherently unprofitable. Period. End of story. Okay. It's actually not the end of the story because now we get to the part that I think is Hossenfelder's main argument for capitalism good. Though nothing she says supports her weird statement that capitalism leads to scientific progress. She doesn't even try to support that. But the pharmaceutical
she's not mentioning the but that's another story suffixes on every single fucking statement that Hossenfelder made.
Industry is
but that's what she's referring to.
Chain scientific progress was able to be mass produced in the United States and the United Kingdom. At first, creating more penicillin was wildly inefficient and required the team to gather every container they could find at Oxford, from coffee mugs.
Most scientific progress happens in spite of capitalism.
To farm the substance. In fact, Oxford's farm employed 6 women that were known as the penicillin girls. Their entire job was to farm as much penicillin as they could. Every bit of penicillin they collected wasn't even enough to save their first human patient from dying of his infection. They needed a lot more. But the British government wasn't convinced that it was worth investing in the necessary equipment when their industry was already fully focused on a now ongoing war effort. So the nonprofit Rockefeller Foundation gave the researchers enough money to fly to America to plead with the pharmaceutical companies there to start producing penicillin. From Hossenfelder's video, you might get the impression that the pharmaceutical companies rose to the challenge and saved millions of lives.
This is it.
But that's not what happened. The pharmaceutical companies were not convinced that this was worth their time. They were already making a lot of money producing other chemicals. Luckily, one Oxford researcher, Howard Florey, was old friends with Alfred Newton Richards, who was at that time chair of the Committee on Medical Research at the U.S. government's Office of Scientific Research and Development, which was specifically set up to direct funding towards research that might aid in the war effort. Richards was convinced by his old friend, and so he lobbied the head of the pharmaceutical companies, telling them that not only was it their patriotic duty, but they would probably be rewarded with tax breaks and federal funding to help out. Pearl.
You know, you can see how Sabine got to where she got. She just like probably skim read a bunch of this stuff and then was like, I understand this because I'm a scientist. You know, like, oh, there was a guy that knew the guy who was doing the research, and he just so happened to be the head of a pharmaceutical company, and it's like, oh, right, okay, yeah, so they created it to help the war effort. You know, it's just this like smushing down of the information to make it like just applicable to her argument. So it makes her argument flimsy as fuck, really. The fact that she did that with multiple different things, like the bartering thing, that's not true at all. And then this thing as well, you know, she gets these like bits of information and just goes, you know, and smushes them down and then has them in these little like bullet points to make her argument seem coherent, but there's no coherence there. Ben Carson likes to think he knows about ancient Egyptian pyramids too. Right, exactly. This is the thing. Ben Carson's a great example, right? Because he's like a brain surgeon, but he's a reactionary politician. Or he was a brain surgeon, and then he became a reactionary politician, probably because of the privilege that being a brain surgeon brought him. You know, thinking that you know like everything just because you like went to fucking uni and you got a qualification and you did your doctorate and all that, like, absurd. Makes the info fit her argument, not like a scientist should. Right, exactly. It's extremely anti-science to do what she did, which makes me question all the other bits of content that she's done. That and her, like, I can't remember what it was that she did about trans people. It was, like, something about puberty blockers or something like that, you know. So that video and the capitalism video just makes me question like everything. Like, I'm never gonna watch her stuff now. Do you know what I mean? Does she not fucking understand? It's CEO mentality. It actually is Middle Earth Marxist. Yeah, she did a very bad video about autism. Yeah, I heard about that as well. Again, she's a physicist. Why is she talking about autism? Like, I'm neurodivergent, yeah? I've got ADHD. I would never do a video about autism. Do you know what I mean? And pretend that I know everything about autism or anything like that. Like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? Why would you do this? So dumb. Rebecca said her scientist friends say not to watch Sabine. Yeah, well, yeah, I'm not surprised. And also, funnily enough, the fact that Sabine Hossenfelder is allowed to go on a fucking, you know, platform such as YouTube and be confidently wrong about loads of stuff. For example, why capitalism is good, in quotes, you know, proves that there's a problem with the system, doesn't it? Her doing this is actually more proof that capitalism is bad, actually. Neoliberalism is bad, actually. There's going to be loads of people who watch her videos being like, I watched Sabine Hossenfelder's video on trans people, and so I know that you can't be transgender, actually. It's wrong, it's fake. You know, like, fuck off. Just fuck off.
Harbor was bombed in the coming weeks, leading to the U.S.
Hey, Echo Baz, how's it going? Yes, Sabine Hossenfelder, yeah.
Of penicillin in preparation for D-Day. That, combined with further scientific research suggesting easier ways of manufacturing penicillin, finally convinced the pharmaceutical companies to get to work. They streamlined the process and were soon producing the necessary amounts of penicillin to save millions of lives. As you can see, the real story is a bit more complicated than capitalists stepped in to produce medicine that scientists were otherwise unable to produce. At every step, capitalists had
she
to
does
be
love
sidestepped
Autism Speaks.
or cajoled
That's fucked.
into helping. But
That's
still,
fucked.
you might argue that were it not for the capitalist pharmaceutical companies, regardless of how hard it was to convince them to participate, the US and UK would never have been able to produce the amount of penicillin they needed. Therefore, capitalism must be good for something, right? How might history have changed if capitalism had never come into being? And usually that's the place where I would have to throw my hands in the air and say, sorry, I'm not an economist and I don't know what the world would look like without capitalism, or what exactly
No, that's not because you're not an economist, Rebecca. That's because you're under the spell of capitalist realism. That's what it is.
Destructive system would look like and how it would respond in a situation like this. So I can't answer the question. But I can answer that question, sort of, thanks to Australia. Despite the fact that I've only just mentioned Australia, they actually played a very important role in the history of penicillin. That Oxford researcher I mentioned earlier, Howard Florey, the guy who used the power of friendship to convince pharmaceutical companies to step up, he was Australian. And he did so much work that he was the third guy to share the Nobel Prize along with Fleming and Chain. But Australia played another role in this story. Like the US and the UK, they also had soldiers in World War II, and they also needed a large amount of penicillin, but they did not have a strong private pharmaceutical industry to ask for help. What they did have was the Commonwealth Serum Laboratories, a government body founded in 1916. Over the years, they were responsible for producing insulin for Australian diabetics, as well as for developing vaccines for things like tetanus and whooping cough and polio and other diseases. And so in 1943, the Australian government authorized the funds necessary to produce penicillin using their own factories, quickly ramping up to make enough for the entire military, as well as an extra supply for Australian citizens to use.
These little things here, by the way, these are like ampules, right? That's an ampule. Is that correct? Hey, Gumba Master, how's it going? I'm always asking Twitch chat this stuff, but I have Google right here. Yes. Yes, it's a little like thing. Oh, they still exist. Sealed vial, which is used to contain and preserve a sample, usually solid liquid. Ampules are usually made of glass. Modern ampules are commonly used to contain pharmaceuticals and chemicals that must be protected from air and contaminants, right? Oh, it says on the picture. Fucking blind and all, aren't I? So, there you go. Should be wearing my glasses, but no. Fuck it. Saw a tutorial on using one yesterday. Okay. That's what I wanted to know. I wanted to know, how does this work?
And you'll notice on the tip there's some volume of medication there that can be forgotten, so you want to make sure you flick it, and I'll just show you in just a bit how to do that. All right, so grab that alcohol prep. You're going to clean the neck. Make sure you clean it for 30 seconds and allow it to dry. So while that's drying, I also want you to take a look at the medication here on the tip. We're going to have to flick that. So if you flick it with your finger, you'll notice it drops to the bottom and collects in the body of the ampule.
Cool.
Let's put that down with your non-dominant hand. You are going to grab the 2x2 and you're going to snap it away from you. Just an easy snap, and there you go. And you dispose of that in the sharps container.
Are these made of glass? Are they made of glass? Yeah, it's glass. Crazy. I was going to say, there's no way it can be made of like plastic because it'll get contaminated, right? Madness. That's cool as shit. All right, chat. You know, today we learned something. Look at that. Moving on.
The Canadian government also financed their...
That's all I wanted to know. How do you open it? All I wanted to know is how do you fucking open it? Like, because I'm there and I'm thinking like, ooh, surely you could just like use a screw top for something like that. But no, apparently not. Fair enough. Fair enough. That's what I'm thinking, Donnie Marco. What about tiny little glass shards? Or what? What if they get in your thing when you drink the medicine? Because that's what you do, isn't it? You drink whatever's in there. What if it goes into your bloodstream and then you got glass in your blood? You got glass in your blood! Poisoned!
Production facility. Howard Florey visited authorities there to try to argue for its necessity, but they weren't convinced.
This is genuinely what happens in my head. I get these like intrusive thoughts. Like that. You know what I mean? They're for injectables. Yeah, but then you got glass in your blood! Glass in your blood! Glass in your veins! Sorry, I don't want to give everyone in chat OCD about, like, ampule-based medicine. You know?
until they saw
That's
ongoing
just what's
clinical
happening in my
trial
head.
results that showed that this
Oh,
was
there's a
kind of
filter for it.
drug.
Okay,
At that
okay.
point, the Canadian government spent the equivalent of about $20 million today to buy and refurbish a building at University of
Hey,
Toronto
Rohamil.
and began mass producing penicillin for their own troops and citizens.
Become
Obviously,
glass man.
capitalism is still present in these stories because these are capitalist societies.
No, TTK, I'm
Even
sorry.
the decisions made by governments are impacted by capitalism and by
It's not helping the fact that I'm just there and I'm going, glass in your blood, poisoned! Sorry, I shouldn't be doing this stuff. I need to chill. It's a special type of glass. Some glass is designed to shear and not shatter. Right. That'll make a great alert. Okay, let's do a backtrack save of that bit. Okay, there you go. That'll be on TikTok later.
money. In that same recollection I mentioned earlier, Ernst Chain wrote about the difficulty of continuing to find new antibiotics into the 1950s and 60s, saying that it became a collective effort amongst many individual organizations and companies that spread out their risk, and that a single government would never have taken on such an effort. One could not imagine the civil servant who would have had the courage to spend such very large sums of money on a project that could not be guaranteed to be successful, he wrote. But while it's hard to say how our world would look without capitalism, I hope that understanding the real history of this story in a more nuanced way helps you envision a world where scientific progress is valued in and of itself, and where the application of that science into technology that makes people's lives better is controlled by the people and not by a handful of impossibly wealthy and influential billionaires focused only on getting wealthier and growing their businesses to the point where they can do things like prevent half of the planet from accessing life-saving vaccines that were developed with public money, just to name a random example. Okay, come on. Hey everybody, thanks for watching.
There's a dog on the screen, chat. There's a dog.
If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you loved the video...
Okay, there we go. Yeah, nice suggestion, Prince. I really appreciate that. That was pretty good. I think that definitely explained what I was trying to say. When I did my quote unquote takedown video. I don't do takedown videos, but when I did my video, sort of criticizing and analyzing that particular video. Blatant emotional manipulation through a doggo. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, chat, if you've enjoyed the stream so far, if you want to see me succeed, if you've laughed, if you've learned something, if you just want to see me be able to survive, pay my rent, pay my bills, afford food, and also, if we hit £500 before the end of the month, we'll be unlocking the cat cam, which looks, hang on, something kind of, sort of, maybe, a little bit like, wait a minute, a little bit like that. But there would be a whoa!
Boo.
Vord! Thank you so much for the £25.88. Very specific in order to get us to £400. Let's fucking go. Chat, that means we've only got £100 before we unlock the cat cam. Now, let me see if I can give you a preview of what it's going to look like. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway. TTK with the £5!
Glass in your blood poisoned.
Gotta make that the £5. Gotta make that the £5 alert, innit? That's what I've got to do now. Glass in your blood, poison! Right. I've got some dreamies here. So let's see if we can do something. One sec. He's being really quiet, and I don't know why. He's being suspiciously quiet. So I hope he's not wedged himself in the crawl space or something. Anyway, back at the tip.
You had me at cat.
So sleepy, chat. He's so sleepy. Up here. Come on, come up here for me. What about if I put him there? There. Oh, there you go. Good boy. Good boy.
You had me at glass. CRONCHCRON.
Johnny, thank you so much for the £5. Good boy. Yeah. What a good boy. What a good boy. Hey? It's like, is that all you fucking woke me up for, you bastard? There he is. There he is. Good lad, aren't you? Hey? Yeah. Yeah. Sticky. Bullet. Yeah. Hold on. Good boy. Have a good boy. Good boy. What a good boy. Good lad, aren't you, hey? He's fucking well pissed that I woke him up. He's so annoyed, aren't you? You want more than that, don't you? He's like, what you fucking doing, bro? Whoa, did we get £20? Whoa, who else donated? Whoa, 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 whoa. What happened? What did I miss? What did I miss? He's aware of Dreamies. He's definitely aware of Dreamies. Yeah, there you go. Good lad, aren't you? Getting up there. He's doing a purr for sure. He's definitely doing a purr. Yeah. Good lad. Nearly time for his thingy. Nearly time for his din-din. Okay, Gumba Master, thank you so much for the £10.25. Johnny, thank you so much for the £5. TTK, thank you for the £5. And Vordrella, thank you so much for the £25.88. That is what the cat cam is going to look like. He's licking it up, aren't you? He's licking it down. A bit more on my fingers. He's purring up a storm, you know? They're so tickly. Hey? Like, I'm not finished licking you yet. He can't know, chat. He can't know. He can't know that I've got the Dreamies hidden. Can't know that I've got the Dreamies hidden. He's gonna go on the desk. Fuck! No! Yeah? Oh my god. Let's see if you can hear him purring. Hello, Tom. Have you got something to say? Yeah. I don't know if you can hear him purring. Let's see if I can turn up the Tommy Twos. Tommy Twos, have you got something to say? You heard a little purr? He purrs quite loud, to be honest. What are you doing there? Hey? What are you doing there? You looking for dreamies? Looking for sweet dreamies? Yes, he's a good boy. He's a good boy. Please don't stand on the keyboard. That would be... Okay, thanks. Okay. He's like a rumble lad. Yeah, a little rumble fella. Good boy. You gonna chill there? Precious. Oh my god. Chat, I never thought I'd be a cat dad in my entire life. I never thought I'd be a cat dad. At all. You a good boy? He's going, don't you fucking mess. He's saying, stay the fuck away from me, bro. I was sleeping. And you came and woke me up to exploit me for views. What exactly do you think I am? What's he seen, chat? What's he looked at? What's he seen there? What are you looking at? Eh? What's the camera doing? Eh? Like you can hear the camera or some shit. He's looking at ghosts. Yeah. The ghosts! You're looking at ghosts! I think he's like seen like little flies. You know? I'm not sure, but something like that. Anyway, I missed some people in the chat. Who do we got? Rifcleus. You have a right to attack, defend yourselves, but it has to be within the confines of humanitarian laws. The Danish Minister of Foreign Affairs also went to Israel today. Yeah, what a cock. What a dickhead. Fuck that guy. Oh, do you want a little head? Oh, chat. Chat, he fucking loves that shit. Don't you? Okay. It is, isn't it? There's flies in here. Flies in here. Oh. What else did I miss? Layla Baltan, hey, how's it going? Welcome in. Welcome. My boss gets a dinner, I get a kibble. That's why I purr on company time. That's cute. By the way, DJ Muel, does Patreon give full money? It takes 8%. So, yeah, you know, I would love it if people would subscribe to the Patreon. Yeah, that would be great. It doesn't go towards the cat cam incentive. Who else did I miss in the chat? Someone else was popping up in the chat. I think I might be incorrect. No, it was just Rifcleus and Layla, I think. Well, welcome to the stream. How's it going? Listen, we got like 3 or 4 donos in a row. Hey, Mr. Steel Rose, welcome in. You get fun little doodles and pins on Patreon. Yeah. Don't forget that the Patreon tiers are very, very lucrative in the rewards that you are offered. My Patreon page is over on the link that I just dropped in the chat right there. You can check out the membership on screen in a hot minute as well. Wait, hang on. How do I do this? Oh, there you go. So if I zoom in a little bit, got Goblin, For this cheeky little goblin tier, you get access to my Discord and also your name in the credits of my videos. How awesome is that? Plus, you gain access to the ancient and forbidden knowledge that you'll be supporting me in paying my bills, making sure I don't starve. Then we got Possum, most popular tier, £5 a month. Your name in the credits of each video, access to patron-only Discord streams, patron-exclusive videos, get patron-only updates on videos, including screenshots and other fun stuff, access to my Discord, and the exclusive patron role and chat channel. Enlightened Socialist, all the stuff from previous tiers, and early access to videos at least the day before the public release, and access to my B-Reel, although I'm going to change that because no one wants my B-Reel. This is a shit benefit that I'm going to change very soon. And then finally, the Anti-Fascist Super Soldiers, all the stuff for the previous tiers, and a 25mm acrylic anarchy symbol pin badge, plus a cheeky tomb by me of your avatar in the credits of videos. So there you go. There you go. That's what you can get. But anyway, we got a bunch of donos in a row just now. And what I normally do as a result of that is we have a little sort of pretend hype train that isn't actually a hype train. Because we actually encourage people to sub off Twitch for many, many reasons. One of which, if anyone is following him or watches his streams or anything like that, Dan Simpson actually like got fucked over yesterday. I'm not going to say too much about it because I know I can get like banned for talking about it. But yeah, they're banning content creators for talking about the genocide in Gaza, right? So fuck Twitch, sub off Twitch, don't give me money, and that's the end of it, isn't it? Mr. Seal Rose says, one of my colleagues got unfair salary compared to her competence and experience. She got zero raise while most of us got $100 US. Often we don't need the full workforce all hours, and we often let her come in later, go home earlier as our own compensation to her. The boss won't notice, and she's never checking on us anyway. You know what you should do? You should all unionize and go on strike so that she gets the same pay as you do. That sounds much more beneficial to me. Anyway, I want to show you all one of my favorite performances of a fantastic song. I'm so sorry, VOD watchers on YouTube, but you're not going to be able to see this because I'm going to get copyright striked. So the recording is going to be paused here. Welcome back, VOD watchers. Welcome back. Every DJ should learn to play a theremin. I mean, those aren't theremins. I don't know if I explained it. If you heard me explain it properly, that's not what's going on there. But like a theremin is an instrument that you play and you can get different notes out of it and stuff like that. It has a very unique sound. I know you're using the Kappa face as like a bit of sarcasm there, but like, yeah, like this is my like specialist subject, mastermind kind of thing. Music shit, all that kind of stuff. Who'd have known? Who'd have known? You know, there are definitely accusations out there that I'm not a real DJ. And what I have to say to that is this. So, there you go. Look Mum No Computer got great content about it. Yeah, Look Mum No Computer is really cool. Really cool. Anyway, so we got more content for you. I gotta leave at 6, unfortunately, because I gotta go for a meeting. But it's important and it's good and it's based and it's something that I have to do. So that's the end of that, isn't it? And I've also got to work more on the Zad documentary. So we're gonna watch some final videos. What do we got? What do we got? You know what? Let's do some permaculture, ancient culture, indigenous culture. I've seen this building before, I think. I think this is in southern India. Yes. I'm correct. So this is a video for from Andrew Millison. This one was shared by Bordrella. Also, welcome to stream, Catgirl Steph. I don't know if I said hi to you. And Beanie Gaby as well. Welcome in. The time now is 20 past 5. So, yeah, this is a video from Andrew Millison. He's like, oh, that's the wrong... Wait. Oh, there you go. He's like an environmentalist, permaculture guy on YouTube. Does a lot of cool stuff. This one's about irrigation in South India. And I've seen this one massive building as well that's in the YouTube thumbnail. In a documentary with David Lynch, where Richard Beymer, if you've seen Twin Peaks, you'll know, plays Benjamin Thorne, at the Great Western Lodge, the Grand Lodge, or whatever it's called, I can't remember, in Twin Peaks. And he goes with David Lynch on a massive copycat pilgrimage that Mahasarati did, who was the teacher of David Lynch, to do like transcendental meditation, and Richard Beymer was also into it and stuff like that. And yeah, so that's how I know where this video is from. Absurd, but there you go. Anyway, not the video, sorry, fucking hell, I can't even speak today, I'm tired as fuck. The building itself, the actual temple that this guy, I don't know if he's gonna go there. But we'll have a little look and see. But yeah, it's permaculture time. If you're new to the stream and you've not seen us talk about this kind of stuff before, we love soft soil boys on this channel. It's important to remember that you know, the ground gives us everything we need to survive, and it's only capitalism that demands that those things be commodified, right? Nature gives freely, without discrimination, to all, and that's something that we need to reclaim. So let's check out this next video.
Chola caves, in order to increase the amount of land under cultivation, under irrigation, what they did was they put these dams in the river.
I'm so happy when I catch these streams a bit too thick, not the good way to understand what's going on, but it's nice here. Look, Rifcleus, when I used to like watch politics streamers and sort of like talk, you know, get interested in like, you know, politics and stuff like that, and I used to think the exact same. I used to think I was too stupid to understand what is going on. It's not that. You're just not aware. We don't get taught this stuff. We have to learn it, right? And that's kind of my job as a streamer, to spread information about what is actually going on. The most important thing that you can understand when it comes to politics is your place in the class structure of our society. You know, as a working class person, or if you're middle class. I know there's some middle class people who watch this stream. You know, you could be a class traitor if you're middle class, and help the working class, and you know, show solidarity to the working class, use your privilege to help them and stuff like that. That's the most important thing to understand. You know, yes, what Ratacid said is completely true. A big part of the established politics is gatekeeping. Ori's correct as well. Everyone learns, and also everyone learns slightly differently. Never feel bad about not knowing stuff. Yes, absolutely. They don't want progression of the poor. They want to keep you in place. That's what it is, Donnie Marco. Yep, that's what it is. So don't worry. Anyway, what we're learning about here is how ancient kings split a river and fed millions. I would go a step farther and say the slaves, probably, of the ancient kings split a river and fed millions, right?
To actually raise the water level up and branch the river into multiple channels and spread those channels out across the landscape, forking it out, each river becoming 2, each 2 rivers becoming 4, each 4 rivers becoming 8, and spreading the water vastly farther across the delta than it was naturally spreading, creating a much larger area of food production. And in this way, this area became the breadbasket of the state of Tamil Nadu, where I am.
Cool. That's true,
Delta
Donnie Marco.
farmers did not refer to their soil as soil. Always they were very proud and they called soil as gold. Tango, they sang. They were growing 4 crops in a year and they were the richest farmers in the entire region. 12,000 years ago, they built a port at the Kaveri Delta point.
12,000 years ago.
Roman ships, Greek ships, Arabian ships, Chinese ships. There is substantial evidence to even today show this. All this happened because of the prosperity that Kaveri brought to their land. So Kaveri is seen as a goddess who brought wealth and well-being to them.
I've been traveling in this river delta for a week.
Soil is gold, it's true.
At the brilliance
completely
of
correct.
This ancient water system that is still being utilized to this day. I'm here at another check dam. This dam here splits the Kaveri with the Arsalar River. This is the first part here going across the Kaveri River, and then we hit this island right here, and then on the other side of this island, we have the part
No
of the
worries,
check
Riff
dam,
Clears. Thanks for
which
being
crosses
here.
the Arsalar River. And so this dam sits here, and it spreads the water out from one river and makes it into 2 rivers, spreading the water across the landscape.
Kaveri deviate from here to 3 parts. This is Kaveri. That one, Veeracholan. This river, this dam also built by Cholas. The purpose for the same thing, agriculture mainly.
Okay, yeah, very good, thank you.
It's a hydraulic structure.
Yeah.
It's not a dam actually.
Yeah.
Just people say dam, but because in India we slightly exaggerate. It's not a dam, it's just a regulator.
This structure is commonly known as a head regulator.
I love it
It's
when he
not a
draws
dam
what the
with solid
fucking
wall,
structure is.
Because there are gates at the bottom which can be opened and closed to manage the amount of water flowing through each channel. In this case, a river is...
And that way, like, because when dams release water, like, they damage the environment and shit, right? Because it comes out at such a force. So it wouldn't do the same thing, right? It wouldn't do the same fucking thing on this thing because it's like the water's coming from the bottom rather than a raised thing at the top. Wow, okay.
Split into 3 different channels. The head regulator regulates the head or height of the water, so the water can be pushed into one of these channels by opening its gates and closing the other channels. During floodwater, the main channel gates can be opened while canal side channels can be closed off to keep them from getting filled with silt. It's a very versatile system that can include fish ladders and can manage the flow of water over a wide area from one central control point.
Does he do his text backwards? I was just thinking about that, Goblin Hugger, but probably what he does is he probably writes it the right way round and then flips the image in the edit. That's the fucking smart way to do it, for sure. For sure. He'll have like an idea of the composition of the image in his head when he's drawing it, and he'll think, okay, if I flip it, will it still look good? Yeah, okay, cool, right? That's gotta be it. He can't, there's no way he's doing it all backwards. Unless he does, in which case, more fucking fool me, you know? That's just what I would do. Some graphic designers who could do backwards writing on glass like that. Yeah, it's pretty good. A dam makes a reservoir upstream of the regulator. Yeah.
How beautifully our kings have thought about civilization. This dynasty here that ruled this place is called the Chola dynasty, one of the largest dynasties around 1500 years ago. They were such great rulers. They thought about water. They thought about how important is water to man, and they taught one, the waters to walk in the river, not to just run and fall into the sea, and two, they know the waters are gushing to the ocean. So what they did, they split the river so beautifully that it covers the entire country. It covers.
He's done a behind the scenes video for that.
And made one river into 5 rivers and gave it different names. So people never thought that one river is being split, but these are 5 independent rivers until he built the great dam and the dam is called Kallanai in this region, Kallanai. And the king who designed and executed this is called Karikalan.
He didn't fucking execute shit. This annoys me so much because it's so sad, right? Like, you know, I'm not one of these people who says like, you know, no leaders and stuff like that, because I think it's impossible to get anything done without leaders. I think you need a leader, specifically a leader who is not authoritarian in nature, who understands their position as a leader and how it can lead to abuse of power, right? If he's talking about people as leaders, fine. But the leaders definitely didn't execute it. The people did. The people did. The workers did. That's who did it. Maybe he came up with the idea, right?
Built a very beautiful practical dam of that
but he didn't do it
with stones. But then later on it got enhanced, it got modified, but the flow never got altered.
Yeah, see, there you go. Later on it got enhanced and it got modified. The king wasn't around when that happened, innit? You know?
It has stood the test of time.
So the Kaveri River comes and splits into two around Sri Rangam.
Yeah, that's right,
Island.
Donny.
And located on this island...
It probably wasn't even the king as well. Yeah, the king probably didn't even come up with it. It's probably like people in the court, you know, who were privileged enough. Yeah, a bunch of architects designed it. Workers built it. The king was there, kinda. Yeah, literally, right? Literally. God damn it. Like, divine right of kings must have been a hell of a drug. Fucking hell.
Famous Sri Ranganatha Temple, which is the largest Hindu temple on the planet.
Yeah, this shit's crazy. This shit's huge.
Golpuram, which is the tallest temple feature in all of Tamil Nadu. It's a holy island, and it's very interesting that it also is the place where we find a unique ancient water diversion feature.
Yeah, that's right.
The Kolonai Dam.
I mean, it's beautiful. This building is absolutely beautiful.
The ancient Kolonai Dam was built 1,800 years ago and is the fourth oldest dam on the planet that is still in use.
Crazy.
And the level
Crazy how
was
big
raised
that
up
is.
by the British when the British colonized India. And the purpose of this dam is actually to spread the water from one river, the Kaveri, into 3 rivers, and actually spread the water out across the delta and increase the surface area, the span of the delta, to much wider than it was naturally found.
It's fascinating because it's so well thought out, right? And just imagine the power of control it gives. You can channel the water back to the Kaveri River, or you can channel it downstream, or you can channel it down this way, which is a continuation of the Kaveri River. Because as we look downstream from here is all of this amazing story, this watershed story that is playing out. So this is the Kolonai.
This is the point that the delta actually starts. This dam, to some degree, was meant to keep water out of this branch and put it into this branch, and then this one right here. This is actually the Grand Anicut Canal. So this control point right here, this is the first point of interception of this great, vast delta system that moves the water then down this direction.
There's an entire story that's playing out there, which is absolutely fascinating.
Absolutely beautiful.
In the second
beautiful country.
century AD, that means 1,800 years ago, that is one of the oldest hydraulic structure in the world. He wants to spread the delta so that more area to be, more territory to be irrigated. The only way is to stop the flow of water needlessly going into the sea. So the only way for the king is to spread the irrigation area. He has to build a lot of controlling structures, what they called bed regulators. Here more than 2,000 bed regulators so that you can control the flow at the bed level. He constructed what we called artificial canal. We have more than 1,500 canals in this delta region and more than 24,000 field channels, so that the more areas to be irrigated, and if the more areas to be irrigated and more people can
That's fucking cool as shit. That's so cool.
200 million tons of rice being produced in the delta region, one of the largest rice producing region in the world. Like
whoa 200 million tons. 200 million tons of rice. South India Delta. Oh no. 2017, farmers face water crisis in India's Cauvery Delta. What the fuck? Oh my god. Oh no. I wonder if Andrew Millison's going to talk about this. Oh Christ. Okay, I'm not going to read some of the stuff from this. This is dark. This is fucking dark. Oh shit. Okay. 2015 produced about 8 million tons of rice out of a national total of 260 million tons. Oh, okay. So this is like, I think this is wrong. No, I don't need to summarize because I was just looking to see like 200 million tons of rice. That seemed like, I'm like, really? That's a fucking lot, you know? But I'm trying to think of like, I'm trying to visualize that, but you can't, right? 200 million tons of rice, you can't. Oh god.
Mekong, like Mississippi, the region so flat, and the slope, which is ideal, 1 in 2,000, means it doesn't require any pumping, and the local farmers doesn't need to use any electricity.
Let's look at what happens to this water as it goes downstream from here. First of all, you start seeing this abundance of very dense reservoirs, which are all being, feeding off of the water coming from there. Just see the amount of reservoirs here. These are all water flow patterns, and all these reservoirs, water harvesting structures, all connected. And they are not randomly placed. There is infinite sense and wisdom in how they are located. Let me just demonstrate by overlaying the streams, and you can actually see how they are all connected to each other. So notice how each
No way.
not just randomly
No way. That's the most hydrated area in the world.
stream, and these streams are what
And they're
connects
facing
them.
a drought. They were facing a drought in 2017.
Ponds
Fucking
that
hell.
are just intercepting the branched flow of water just all throughout, one after another, all throughout this whole watershed.
Absolutely.
And then you think about the cumulative effect on the groundwater, on the available water for irrigation, when you have this system-wide water harvesting adaptation to this pattern.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it gets even more beautiful as you go further down. By the way, Andrew, I've done the math for roughly kind of back of the envelope calculation of how much water they are harvesting in this. And the surface area of all these water bodies collectively, just in this area alone, is twice the largest inland lake of India. The largest inland lake of India is Chilika Lake, and the surface area of all of these water bodies added together just in the southern part of the Kaveri River is almost twice that much.
Mind you,
essentially,
fractal patterns,
this
yeah, kind of
system
fractal,
water
yeah.
bodies is actually the largest storage of water in the whole country of India. If we see them as one interconnected whole.
If you were to think of it as one contiguous water body, yes.
Definitely worrying with the droughts in the area, yeah,
It's
absolutely.
really a pattern that we can learn from and that we can actually mimic and utilize in other areas of the world where we have a concentration of water at one point, but we have the opportunity to actually spread the water out and create a lot more edge and surface area contact between water and land in regions where we can both increase agricultural production and the lives of humans, and also the great abundance of nature that we find in wetland areas.
This is a tremendous story of water harvesting, of permaculture that is happening, deeply embedded in the culture of these people, that I think needs to be understood and appreciated. And part of these lessons need to be taken to other parts of the Kaveri Basin, because believe it or not, this is also part of the Kaveri River, right? So if this can happen downstream, why can't this story be replicated upstream?
Are you ready to transform deserts, create lush backyards, and feed communities? In my almost 30 years as a permaculture designer traveling the world, I've put everything I learned into Oregon State University's online permaculture design course, or PD.
Yeah. Okay, we don't need any of this shit. That was cool. We've actually got a bit more time to check out another video. That was really interesting. Yeah, shame about the great person history stuff that kind of overshadowed the work of the workers, you know. But it's all right. You know, it's Andrew Millison, and he goes around the world and he gets different, you know, stuff, and that's all good, right? Gets different ideas, different cool things. More than 2.6 trillion servings of rice, assuming 75 grams a serving. Well, thanks for doing the maths on that, Muel, because that was fucking with my head, right? 2.6 trillion. Oh, shit. Oh my god, Isle. Thank you so much for the raid. How's it going? Everybody, please go and follow Isle. She's got her own personal shout out right there in the chat. How are you doing? How was your stream? What are you up to? Welcoming everyone from Isle Stream, Mo Striff, Astra Idea, Isle herself. Was that you without a beard? Yeah, it was the Shreyax. Yeah. Don't think about that. Unbearded Mule can't hurt you. He isn't real. If you're coming in from Isle Stream and you don't know me, my name's djmuel. I'm a leftist political streamer. My pronouns are he, him. I'm bisexual. I'm a housing activist. I'm polyamorous. What else do you want to know? I've got a cat. I've got a cat now. Oh my god. Should we see if we can get him? We've had enough donos to warrant getting the cat cam on for a little bit longer today. So, let's show Isle. You played Legacy of Kain? I've heard people talk about Legacy of Kain, as in like it's a good game. Let's see if we can get him. He might get really annoyed with me for waking him up again, because I know he's asleep on the couch. Okay, hold up. What to do? Good lad. What a good boy. There he is. What about a bit more? Hey? Oh, he's tickling my hand. Oh my god. He's such a tickly boy. Why don't you know this? There he is. There he is. Yeah. You're a good lad, aren't you? Do you love your dad? Hey? Do you love your dad? He's like, no, give me more fucking food, you cunt. Yeah. Yeah. What about a bit more? Tiny bit more. Yeah, cat tongues are so fucking weird. So fucking weird. Yeah. You get it down, yeah. He's gonna wanna lick and inspect every single one of my fingers now to make sure I'm not like hiding anymore. Oh, it's so ticklish. I'm just trying not to move my hand because I don't want to freak him out. He's purring up a storm again, chat. He's purring up a storm. Cute for a few seconds, then it starts to hurt. It's really tickling me. Really tickling me. Good lad, aren't you? Hey? Do you love your dad? He loves his dad. Some pets. Want some pets? He's deking out all where the rest of the treats are. Oh, no, he's lying down. Good lad, aren't you? Yeah, what a good lad. What a good lad. What a good lad. I love him to death. I love him to death. Well, there he is. There's Tom, my boy. What did I miss in the chat? Does any very funny individual have 44p? 420.69? That would be very funny. Excuse me. Yeah, please consider subbing off Twitch so we can unlock the cat cam permanently. Comrade Cat, get him out here. Zappafaz, welcome to the stream. How's it going? Precious baby, do you kiss him on the head? No, he's stinky. He's disgusting. I don't want to get a cat disease. I'm joking. I don't think of him like that. Oh, sneeze! I've never seen him sneeze. He doesn't understand that life's so difficult. He doesn't understand it. You don't understand it, do you? Hey? Anyway, there you go. Bless him. Let's see some bless yous for Tom in the chat. Oh, he's gone. He's literally... He's just moved there. I don't know why he does this. He that's what Lena, my partner, calls his slut pose. You can't quite see it, but what he's doing is he's like lying with one of his paws like that, slutting it out, but like elongated across the floor like that, kind of like this, you know. Anyway, yeah, we got time for one more video, I think. The person I'm meeting said that he was gonna text me when he was leaving, and he's not texted me yet. So very cool, very, very, very cool. Don't think you could donate less than £1. No, you can't. That's just to prevent trolls, by the way. That's not like me saying, how dare you try and donate less than £1. It's like if someone wants to donate, like, you know, 1p over and over and over again, that would be like annoying as fuck. I've had that happen before, and like there's like not a lot you could do about it other than like stuff like that. So there you go. Anyway, let's check out another video. Let's have a little look. Maybe there's a short one that we can check out. How long is this one? No, that's fucking long as fuck. What about this one? Okay, yeah, let's check out Adequate Emily's video on The Boy and the Heron. We were talking about Paprika earlier. We watched Susumu Hirasawa. Watched his performance from one of the tunes from Paprika. So let's check out Adequate Emily's mini review of The Boy and the Heron. And I'm very excited to be checking out this film as well very soon. I hope I can see it at the cinema. I've never seen a Studio Ghibli movie at the cinema. So this should hopefully be interesting. But this one's from Catgirl Steph. Thanks for the recommendation. Again, if you want to recommend me stuff to watch on the stream, I'm planning on doing this a bit more regularly. Please join the Discord. Make sure when you do join the Discord that you follow the rules. Not in terms of like, follow the rules, I'm an authoritarian guy, don't be a piece of shit, blah, blah, blah. It's more like you have to do a thing to get let into the Discord server. So make sure you do that, because otherwise people just end up like staying in the fucking welcome channel for weeks, and then we kick people out, and then they join again, and then they do it again. Please, please, please do the thing that we ask you to do, and then hopefully that'll all be fine and good and whatever. Anyway. Boy and the Heron hype is what I'm going to call this segment, because I am quite hyped for this film. Love a good Studio Gibbers. Studio Gibbo. Love a bit of that. I don't know if there's any content warnings for this. It's probably going to be fine. Studio Ghibli in it. It's quite family friendly and all that kind of stuff. Should watch Paprika again. Haven't seen it in years, and that was a YouTube rip of moderate quality too. Oh, there's nothing better than watching like the full high grade best version of Paprika, because it is such a good, very good looking anime. My partner had never seen it before, and that was the main thing that she kept focusing on, like how good the animation was. It's fantastic. It's by the guy that did Perfect Blue. What's his name? Satoshi Kon. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic movie. Yeah, highly recommend Paprika. Anyway, let's check out what Adequate Emily thinks of The Boy and the Heron. Please, please, please go follow Adequate Emily. Like, comment, subscribe. She's a smaller YouTuber, kind of lefty. I know that she's she's transgender, and that makes her part of the queer community. So even if she's not like a communist or whatever, please go and support her. Yeah, she's really, really good. She makes good videos. Yeah. So please like, comment, subscribe, watch the video in a muted tab alongside the stream.
What needs to be said about Hayao Miyazaki? The Walt Disney of Japan, mastermind. Calling him one of the greatest directors in anime contains too many qualifiers, as he's not only one of the best in anime, not only one of the best in all animation, but in all filmmaking. The fact his films are drawn takes nothing away from the genius of his work. Actually, if anything, it adds so much. He's made so many classics from his early works like Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, Castle
such a good
in the
film.
Sky, and the iconic My Neighbor Totoro, to late career classics.
I've got to say, like, the other films before My Neighbor Totoro that she mentioned, like, are great, and I think they're, like, good for people of all ages. But My Neighbor Totoro is, like, definitely just for kids. I mean, like, look, I'm not going to say that, like, you can not watch it if you're an adult or whatever, but, like, I remember watching My Neighbor Totoro recently, and I was like, there's not even, like, a message here. It's like, I think it's one of the more overrated Studio Ghibli movies. Hot take moment. Also, I'm going to come out of the politics category because I think some people are like coming here for politics, but I'm not doing that. Yeah, Nausicaa Valley of the Winds has got such a, like, it's got the environmental message. You know, Howl's Moving Castle has got the whole thing about, like, learning to love yourself no matter what. Yeah, My Neighbor Totoro just ends without any kind of, like, a revolution. You know, no, the story is just, like, not that good. Look, I'm a David Lynch fan, so I don't mind a bit of an incoherent story. But, you know, I think the majority of David Lynch films at least have a conclusion, right? An obvious conclusion, like a build-up to something, right? Yeah, it's charming and pretty. It's, you know, it is the most kids film of them, and you can't really have a go at that. But it's, like, it's so interesting because Ponyo, for me, appears to be, like, the most kids film when you look at it, like, aesthetically. But you can watch that as an adult and be like, yeah, it's a great film. It's about, you know, it has, like, a beginning, a middle, and an end. There's a conclusion. There's acts in it and stuff like that. Yeah, so anyway, just a bit of a rant about Totoro there.
It's like Howl's Moving Castle and The Wind Rises, to my personal favorites of his that I consider masterpieces, like the beautiful simplicity of Kiki's Delivery Service, my go-to comfort film about keeping passion in the things you love, or the stunning Spirited Away, which moves
Spirited Away is so prime.
Manages to wring tears out constantly. Or my favorite by him,
Princess Mononoke is so good. Oh
Princess
yeah.
Mononoke.
Oh
and its
yeah.
vivid portrayals of war, environmental exploitation, and some of the most thoughtful scenes of his career.
Yeah, I agree.
Can't tell, he's someone that if you haven't seen his works, I recommend them highly. There have been countless times he's made me cry, and despite me not growing up on him,
They're all
he
so
still
good,
has
aren't
to
they?
Deeply weave
They're all
his
so
way to
good.
my love of cinema.
You know, despite my criticisms of My Neighbor Totoro, I still think it's great, by the way. I don't want to say it's like shit, because it's not shit. It's just like, it just had such a, like, fucking abrupt ending. It's like, what is happening here? Anyway. Mononoke is your favorite, yeah? Yeah.
Yes, many of them are made with children in mind. They're animated and in Japanese.
The art is
Though
captivating,
there are
yeah.
dubs filled with celebrities if you just can't handle subtitles. But if those are the things holding you back, I feel truly sorry for you.
I think I'm not like a huge fan of listening to the dubs. I don't mind watching and listening to Japanese, and you know, it's actually interesting when you do that, because you pick up like bits of Japanese that you wouldn't even like think about. You're like looking at the words on the screen and it's saying it. When you're learning another language, people often have the audio in the language that they want to learn and then have the subtitles in their language, right? And it does help in like comprehending and understanding how people speak and stuff. And like you can fucking like do that with watching Studio Ghibli movies. You could do that with watching any Japanese movie, right? But if you did want to watch the dub of a film, I would definitely say that like Howl's Moving Castle is the best one, because they got Billy Crystal doing the voice of Calcifer, and they got Keanu Reeves doing Howl, and I think there's some other people doing voices. I can't quite remember who does the voice of Sophie. Oh my god, my brain is breaking. But yeah, very, very good, very, very cool. Anyway, right, let's crack on.
Because you are holding yourself back from like.
Nausicaa was your favorite in terms of beautiful landscapes and art. Yeah, I agree.
Though it's not surprising.
You only watched one Ghibli film. What you watched, Stray
retired
X?
From directing. In fact, he retired 4 times, and he's failed every single one. First was Princess Mononoke, a huge piece of fiction that explored several of the themes that he's found most important in his career. What a film to go out on. Then a couple of years later, he felt the need to come back and makes another film he found extremely important to himself in Spirited Away, which he also promised would be his last film. And then it just goes on to become the most successful film in Japanese box office history.
Yeah, great point from you. Yeah.
Film. It breaks him into America, and even wins him an Oscar. So I guess he decided it was worth it to stick around a bit more. Alright, but in 2013, he's 72. This is finally it. He releases a film that ties in his love of flight, which comes from his father, with his love of art and how it drives him, and makes The Wind Rises. That surely should be it. And then he came back with this film here anyway, writing an entire essay about how he tried so hard to not come back, but just had an idea he couldn't bear to go unrealized. But this film, this is truly his final film. Except like a few weeks after it premiered in Japan, he came into Studio Ghibli with another idea. Oh boy! But here we have it. A film by one of the greatest filmmakers of all time, who's returning with a film that he quit his retirement over. And I was lucky enough to see it an entire month early thanks to the wonderful folks at IFF Boston, allowing me to see it at their Fall Focus Festival at the Brattle Theater as press.
Lucky.
Thank you so much to them, and genuinely, I talk about their fest every year because they are truly amazing. Really recommend them if you're local. They have events all year round. But anyway, let's get into one of the most anticipated films of the year. The Boy and the Heron.
He loves his work, so it's not really work, it's a passion, sure.
Miyazaki's gift with the pencil is just as fresh as it was in his prime. With its use of techniques inspired by oil paintings to create unique effects for fire really blowing me away in its first opening scene. Honestly, the visual design here is some of the best of his career, some of the best environments and effects we've ever seen. It really feels like every frame could stand in a museum all on its own, and arguably he took a lot of notes from various avenues, like classically trained modern art rooms to even picture book illustrations, as seen in the design of the Parakeet Man. And Joe Hisaishi, of course, accentuates these beautiful images with yet another incredible score to add to his collection of Ghibli favorites, full of short bursts of...
Is she saying it right? Is it been Studio Ghibli this whole time? And everybody else calls it Ghibli? Tommy twos. The cat's stretching, and I think that means he wants my attention. I've been looking at cat behavioral videos. Does that mean he wants my attention? He just like stretched in front of me and then sort of like turned away like he was angry.
Beautiful piano and string raisins.
Different versions from people.
Smaller pieces.
Hey, Omicron Alfarius. Always pronounced it Ghibli. Yeah, same.
Work singularly. This is going to be one to add to the playlist, and it's one I'm going to return to frequently just on my own time anyway. Not to mention, it's clear in a lot of ways this is a very personal film for Miyazaki. It's literally been stated in some press material that it is semi-autobiographical.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, fuck it. Film night. I've been looking for a second movie for film night. We'll watch Hiroko the Goblin and we'll watch Porco Rosso. People have been bugging me to watch Porco Rosso for a long time. Let's do it. Let's fucking do it. I'm down.
And you can feel it in how it portrays a parent being lost in the war. In this film, it's the main character's mother, but in real life, it was his father.
Thanks for the follow.
And how he spends years trying to get over it and escapes into fantasy before accepting that life must go on. And part of that is developed in the voice performance of the main character Mahito by Soma Santaki, who gives some incredibly heartbreaking line deliveries that bring this all together. Like a good deal of Miyazaki's work, it's the personal feeling, the touch of passion he brings that gives it extra meaning.
Really, Omicron? That's fucking cool as shit.
Heart-rending scenes, some being some of the most intense and sullen scenes of his career, and many using the magical realism
Hell yeah,
of his
Johnny.
typical fantasy worlds to bring it together. But at the same time, that fantasy world and the story being so personal are partially the film's downfall at points. Don't get me wrong, it is great, the press is correct. This is an incredible film by him. But knowing it's not actually his last has helped me come to terms with the truth that some
Parent
of his
animation
has
gives you
just been
goosebumps. Yeah, it looks so
done better in
good.
Other films by him. A young child being sucked into a magic world that forces them to grow up, with their driving care for others being what keeps them going. As well as a personal allegory for the self and a tribute to his father whom he lost young, we've seen him touch on both of those before, admittedly. It's hard to not feel this magic world is kinda underdeveloped at points. Feels like they give both too much information to leave this world as a mysterious land we get no answers from, but not enough for us to really feel like we have a grip on it. Honestly,
Yeah, but like, you know, I don't think that's a negative thing. I genuinely like it when there are nebulous, interesting worlds that are being built, because, you know, that the opposite of that is the Marvel Cinematic Universe, innit? Where there's just Marvel film. Oh, we get a film about the guy that said the thing to the Flash, even though I don't know if the Flash is Marvel or DC. I don't fucking care. Same shit, different day. You know, like, I don't care about any of that. I don't care. Yeah, leave the audience wanting more, not wishing you'd have left. Right, this is what I'm saying. Yeah, I agree. The Ghibli film that you watched was Only Yesterday, directed by Isao Takahata. I don't actually know who that is. And I've not seen that film. Find out why Han Solo's called Han. Need to find out, don't we? Yeah. Whereas, like, actually the decision, it's so funny because, like, you get those super fans of, like, franchises like that, and they're like, yeah, that's so good, we needed to know this. And it's like, no, man, this decision was made by people on an executive board who are like, we need to make more money, we need to fucking milk these fucking stupid little nerds out of all their fucking cash, right? Isao Takahata directed Grave of the Fireflies. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, I thought that was I thought that was someone else. The mystery conundrum, the reveal is almost never as satisfying as the mystery itself was. Right, exactly. That's the beauty of stories, isn't it? It's the beauty of a story. To me, anyway, is the mystery and especially fantasy, right? Okay, let's crack on.
I still feel lost on what the world was meant to be. A sort of purgatory, a world of those who can't let go from his family? Maybe, but it still feels like there's some missing pieces that kind of make it feel like we've lost something in the translation of the idea to paper. Or that maybe through his own personal understanding of the setting, some of it was lost to us as audience members on how it all comes together, that maybe make more sense to Miyazaki himself. At the same time,
I kind of hate how systematic magic has gotten in modern fantasy. There's no magic left in magic. Yes, I agree.
If I was lost conceptually,
I agree.
You feel it deeply on an emotional level, and that is
like Harry Potter ruined that, innit? Harry Potter ruined a lot of things, but Harry Potter genuinely, the first thing that comes to my mind about that is Harry Potter. Yeah, it's like, oh, well, you go to a magic school and it's all institutionalized and everyone understands it and there's a whole society and you just have to go there and learn, and it's like, oh my God, like how banal is that and cringe, and it's like disenchanting magic, right?
Arguably way more important. It's one thing to understand a film, it's another to feel what it's going for. That's what we go to the cinemas for. And Miyazaki always lands on that front. Is it his best? No, honestly, of his 4 retirement films, this is the weakest yet. But I do still see it as a wonderful entry in his filmography. It's rare that films get me to audibly gasp or grip my seat. But he always manages it, and you can tell this is one of his most personal works. Even if it does feel like it's missing some key points of development to make it shine its best. It may not be his best work, but no one does it like Miyazaki. And after still enjoying this one quite a good deal, I'm glad he hasn't shut the door on making films just yet.
Cool.
Hayao Miyazaki's The Boy and the Heron gets an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10 is pretty fucking good. Pretty fucking good. I don't know. I haven't watched really many of Emily's movie reviews, but 8 out of 10 seems pretty good. I'll save my own review for when I watch it myself, which will hopefully be in cinemas when it comes out, you know? So there you go. Chat, thank you so much. I'm sorry again that this was a shorter stream. I'm desperately trying to organize my fucking life at the minute, but I think just like at the moment, 3 hours is probably like the best that we're gonna get. Just because of like all the work that I need to do on the Zad documentary, all the work that I need to do with the union. So please stay patient. Still gonna have some exciting streams. Do not forget that I will be back here tomorrow. A little bit. I think I'll be at the same time. I think it will be 3 o'clock. Yeah, starting at 3 o'clock. And hopefully going for a bit longer. Oh no, I won't be going for longer tomorrow either because I have a fucking meeting again. Oh Christ! It's only because we had the AGM with the union. There's loads of stuff going on. So yes, please bear with me. Things will get back to normal very soon, I promise. Of course, don't forget, I've got the VOD channel. I got so many socials. I got Blue Sky, I got Instagram, I got YouTube, I got Patreon, I got the VOD channel there, like I said, and I'm on TikTok as well. So please consider following me on all of those. If you just can't handle 24 hours without me, your boy Donkus Jonkus, but don't worry, like I say, I'll be back. Thank you everybody for everything today. Thanks for all the donos. Thanks for all the subs. Thank you for the raid aisle. I really appreciate that. And thank you for what else was there? There was other things. Thank you for the chats. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the lurk. Anyone who's lurked. Really appreciate that. Lurkers are the backbone of Twitch. Just because my stream is over doesn't mean that you have to go, oh hey Aronok, how's it going? Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, have a good day. It's all good. Thanks for stopping by. It's good to see you. Yes. Who are we gonna go raid? Yes, that's what I was trying to say. Just because my stream is over doesn't mean that The fun is over for anyone at all. We're going to go ahead and raid somebody now. Who am I going to raid? 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 Let's have a little look. I am going to go and raid Sean. Sean the Skull is streaming. He's playing some PUBG. I always enjoy watching Sean's PUBG streams. I think they're really, really, really relaxing. So please join me in the raid. I think that should have worked. Yep, looks like it. Okay, cool. I got a raid message that you can copy and paste, and that's very nice for everyone involved, isn't it? Absolutely wonderful. Yeah, thanks so much. These earlier streams have been really, really cool and really, really good, and yeah, I'm really, really grateful for everyone like stopping by and hanging out. I think that this is going to be like a permanent thing. I think I'm going to start streaming a lot earlier. I think it's easier for people to like come to the stream and like, you know, like I say, I'm not competing with my comrades because everyone's streaming at the same fucking time. And also I get to like, you know, if there are more people coming in, I also get to like raid my comrades with more people, right? So like the people who are starting the stream later on that we like, we could send more people over to, innit? Which is fucking sick. Anyway, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much for all the love today. It's been fantastic. Stay excellent to each other. I'll see you tomorrow. Mwah. Peace, 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 peace.